Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everyone who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me or things are looking bad, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early. All right. Shout out to everybody who is in the building early. Shout out to my man Detroit 313. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to my man AB Promotions. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Darlene Parsons. Good to see you, Darlene. And shout out to you and very much appreciated. Shout out to Darlene for the super sticker. All right. Shout out to her. Make sure you guys show her some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Darlene for funding the organization. And y'all already know, she bought y'all lunch.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
Red, so don't push me. Ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's lip, they'll help her to turn them to hamburger. Help with somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there, it's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing and where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he flipping at? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And the cat got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Shout out to you, Darlene. I definitely appreciate it. Shout out to my man Caldona. What's good with it, Caldona? Who else we got in the building? We got my man PJ Allen in the house. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Wallow J. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to P. Shout out to Wallow J. Make sure y'all show Wallow J some love. Throw some flame emoji and some ducks in the chat for Wallow J for standing on business for 11 months, man. 11 months. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show Wallow J some love.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
My man P. Morton in the building. What's good with it, P. Morton? Shout out to my man AB Promotions. Make sure y'all show my man AB Promotions some love. 15 months standing on business. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Shout out to my man PJ Allen for funding the organization and growing the organization, joining the membership. Make sure y'all show my man PJ some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for PJ. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen, mod extraordinaire. Big love. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to you for joining the membership, funding the organization, and growing the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
And shout out to my man Hurricane IQ. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. Appreciate you, bro. Hurricane IQ standing on business for 15 months. Definitely appreciate it.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
So what is up with y'all, man? It is good to see each and every one of you. I got to get things back in order on this channel, so forgive me, right? We got to do a little housekeeping. You know what I'm saying? I don't think any of the videos are visible. I think only membership videos are visible to members. Is that true? I don't think there's any videos that are visible. Now, I don't know what YouTube got going on, but all the videos that's not membership videos, YouTube got them locked. And for some reason, I can't get them off of private. So I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep working on it. You guys see, I didn't even have my trailer video. Like, I don't have access to none of my videos except for the membership video. So hopefully I'll be able to get that figured out. And once I get that figured out, I'm going to put all the videos back to the way that they were. So the membership videos will be on membership, and the ones that were public will be public. All right. But like I said, I don't know what's going on with it. When I had to hide the channel and I brought the channel back, it put all the videos on private and it locked them on private. So like I can't, for whatever reason, unlock them. So I got to figure out how to get that going. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about what we got going on here. All right. And one of the things that we got going on is Ayanna Presley. All right. How many people heard about what's going on with Ayanna Presley? I don't understand this. We're going to get into it and we're going to talk about it and we're going to go into it. And then, you know, we got Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Tapping into the MK Ultra, right? And they doing all of this during Black History Month, right? You know what they call it? DEI History Month, right? So we got to talk about this whole DEI thing and talk about this whole, you know, Kendrick Lamar simping thing and Ayanna Presley and this HR 40. We're gonna dive deep into this. All right, we're gonna dive deep into this. Shout out to my man Detroit 3. Appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show Detroit 313 some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man Detroit 313 for funding the organization and growing the organization. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Now, that's another thing. Shout out to Detroit 313 because you just reminded me. That's another thing that happened. I don't know what happened, but YouTube wiped out over half of my memberships. Some people still had a membership active, and other people, it just got completely wiped out. So, again, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened or what went on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Spider. What's good with it, Black Spider? Make sure y'all show Black Spider some love. Bought y'all lunch, right? First and foremost, shout out to her. She bought y'all lunch, and she's been standing on business for 26 months. Definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Please make sure y'all show Black Spider some big love.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
So don't push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians, somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Gone overseas where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there, it's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing and where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Shout out to you, Black Spider. I definitely appreciate you. All right. So now shout out to Darlene, right? Because Darlene said that she enjoyed Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. And, you know, I wouldn't disagree because, you know, Kendrick Lamar is a good performer, right? He's a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? Solid rapper. But here's my thing, right? This is my question. And this isn't just for Darlene. This is for everybody. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to DC. What's good with y'all? Darlene says, I think Kendrick was definitely sending a message. All right. Now, here's my question for you guys. What message do you all think that Kendrick was sending? That's my question for you. What message do you guys think that he was sending? Because I think he was sending a message too, right? But I'm not clear as to the quote unquote message, right? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. I appreciate you, Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen says 20-month membership. Get it together, YouTube. Please, please, please get it together, YouTube. Please. Pretty please. You know what I'm saying? With cherries on top. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love. Those some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen, mod extraordinaire, always supporting the channel. Definitely appreciate you, Brooklyn Queen.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Yeah, YouTube wilding, bro. Shout out to AB. Shout out to my man. Shout out to my man, Fomosaki Nakamura. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, YouTube is always wilding. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and shout out to PJ, right? I agree 100%. PJ says, melanated folks better play the game right or it's over. Facts. Now, shout out to Darlene. Darlene says, reparations, I think. I wouldn't disagree. Hey, shout out to Mama Zeke. What's good with it, Mama Zeke? I wouldn't disagree, right? Now, here goes my question. Who received the message, right? That's my question. Who received the message? Because now here's the thing, right? If that's the case, right? If that's the case, what that means is that Ayanna Presley, allegedly, we're going to dive into that, is quote unquote sending the same message, quote unquote, as Kendrick, right? Now, here's the thing, right? There's nothing wrong with going for reparations. We're owed reparations, right? But again, like I've said before, I'm pro-strategy, right? I'm pro-strategy, right? My thing with the Kendrick thing is I think that people need to start taking new strategies, right? I think that things should be discussed, quote unquote, in terms of history, quote unquote, and sending a message, right? I think the days of celebrating positions of weakness should be over. To me, you know what I'm saying? A better celebration would have been, I'm going to put it like this. You guys remember when Julius Malema did kill the boy, ha 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 ha. He did the little Busta Rhymes remix of kill the boy, ha 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 ha, kill the boy, right? Oh, that kill the boy? Yeah, that got people's attention. You know what I'm saying? That got people's attention. That got people triggered. The reparations thing, as far as with Kendrick, I think it was more so mass appeal, right? Now, what was the difference between Kill the Boar, right, versus the halftime show? The difference between Kill the Boar is because in South Africa, there's already speculation, and they're actually in the position where they can start taking some land and actually killing some boars, right? So that actually that put a little different type of eyes on that type of situation than Kendrick Lamar's performance. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar will do that, you know what I'm saying? And then he'll go back to LA and do the concert for the Latino people who buy the tickets in LA, like how he does. You know what I'm saying? And to me, shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug, I got to agree, it's more consumerism. It's more symbolic brain rot. Because my question is, we got the halftime show, right? Who let him do the halftime show? The NFL. Who owns the NFL? You know what I'm saying? It's the same as these quote unquote target DEI quote unquote fake boycotts that are not actually boycotts, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to AB. AB said Elon wants Julius arrested. Yeah, that, especially Elon being South African. Yeah, that hit some type of way. It hit a little bit different than a concert. You know what I mean? it hit a little bit different than the concert. Shout out to my man Hurricane. I think it was multiple messages: nationalism, the system as a game, black political demands, and the so-called blacks versus blacks who are tired of playing it safe. All right. Now, if you ask me, right? Shout out to you, Hurricane. We're the only ones that are not playing it safe. We're tired of playing it safe. If you ask me, literally everyone else except for us plays it safe. As far as the political demands, my question is, we're doing political demands under Trump? What's the likelihood with that? You know what I'm saying? The chest beating during the Trump administration. I don't know what message that sends. Let me ask y'all this question. And I asked this question before, right? Shout out to, on Undocumented. We kind of went into this. And shout out to the Undocumented, to the people that subscribe to Undocumented. They inspired me to do this live stream, right? My question is, who does it make more sense to, quote unquote, send a reparations message to? A Joe Biden, a Democrat regime, or a Trump? That's my question for you. Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to Mama Zeke. I appreciate you, Mama Zeke. Make sure you guys show Mama Zeke some big love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Mama Zeke for funding the organization. Mama Zeke says, loving the perspectives, and especially the crypto streams. I appreciate you, Mama Zeke. Hopefully you stacking your coin and getting you some coin. And make sure you always pay attention to the financial advice of my man, Fomosaki Nakamura. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Mama Zeke. I appreciate it. Make sure y'all show Mama Zeke some love because she bought y'all lunch.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
So don't push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Gone overseas where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there, it's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing and where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he flipping at? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Shout out to you, Mama Zeke. I appreciate you. Shout out to my man Leonard. What's good with it, bro? And shout out to Dre D. What's good with it? So here go my thing with the Kendrick thing, right? And this is what I call the race simping, right? Now, again, there's nothing wrong with Kendrick as far as him being an artist, right? But they tapping into that MK Ultra, hitting that 1-in-1 ratio, right? Kendrick and Ayanna Presley are doing the same thing. All you have to do is mention some trauma and people snap and they're automatically on board with it. Automatically on board with it. Now, that would be fine if there was an end goal and if something was done. But all of the tapping into trauma that has occurred, what has resulted from it? You know what I'm saying? What material, the buzzword used to be tangibles. What tangible has come out of it? Nothing. Kendrick Lamar come out with the song, They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us. Of course, with the political environment, yeah, he's making this song for us, right? Okay, cool. All right, now what happened? What's going on now? That's over. That wave is done. Where is anything? But he got everybody to support it. right? How did he get everybody to support it? Because he tapped into that MK Ultra. He tapped into that race simping. All I got to do is just do that. Boom. Everybody's behavior is understood. They're going to do the exact same thing. It's the same thing that the Democrats do. The Democrats got the monolith going. They got the 1-to-1 ratio, predictable behavior. Bring something to the table, and boom, it's right there. It's like clockwork. You know what I'm saying? It's just like clockwork. Just like candy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like candy. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, it would be a better situation if something would materialize out of it. But what has materialized out of it? It's the same trick bag that the Democrats are doing. It's the same thing that Ayanna Presley has done. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Jay the Informant. Yo, I appreciate you. Make sure y'all show Jay some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Jay, for funding the organization and for standing on business. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Shout out to my man Black Free Thinker. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to you for being a member for 14 months. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all show my man Black Free Thinker some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man Black Free Thinker for standing on business for 14 months. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Shout out to Crystal. What's good with it, Crystal? So shout out to Detroit 313, right? Because Detroit 313 asks a great question. Detroit 313 says, so you think Kendrick Lamar is representing the left? Honestly, I don't know if Kendrick Lamar is representing the left or not. I don't want to make that assumption without having material evidence to say one way or another, right? But what I would go as far as to say is I would tell people not to buy as much into the messages and the symbolism that he's doing, because if he's representing anybody, he representing himself, right? But he's tapping into people's emotional vulnerabilities, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, he's tapping into people's emotional vulnerabilities. And when you tap into people's emotional vulnerabilities, it makes them susceptible to reflexive support. You know what I'm saying? It makes them susceptible to reflexive support. That's one of the reasons why Ayanna Presley is doing what she's doing, right? Let me ask again, and shout out to everybody that answered, because I think the majority of y'all said it would make more sense to push this HR 40 during the Biden administration. He's the one. I've always had black people have always had my back. I'm gonna have theirs. Trump didn't run on that, did he? Let me. I want to ask y'all this question: what exactly did Trump run on? Was his campaign promise? He didn't campaign to us. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really make us no promises except for basically some trickle down, right? You know, if you vote for me, give it a shot, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It'll work, right? And the thing is don't get it twisted. You can make a Trump presidency work. You know what I'm saying? You can make it work. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely make a Trump presidency work. But he didn't campaign to us as a broad audience. You know what I'm saying? So if you ask me, he doesn't owe any campaign promises, right? So my question is, why is Ayanna Presley doing all this with the guy and the people that don't owe us any campaign promises in office, while they were the very people, right? They were the very people that were telling everybody, stop asking about it when Joe Biden was in office. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're going to be some heroes. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be some heroes. We're going to make Trump give us our reparations. Trump never promised anybody no reparations, and Trump never said black people have always had my back. Now watch me have theirs. Trump ain't the one that said that. Who said that? Who said that? So now the Powerpuff Girls going to get their clipboard and run up to the White House with Trump in it, like they doing some type of revolutionary nonsense. They're not. You know what I'm saying? They fronting. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Jay the Informant. I appreciate you, bro. Jay said today's a party because yesterday Cash App. Umar, right? Facts. FM. What is it? Family to Money Going University. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all show Jay the Informant some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Jay for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Yeah. Shout out to PJ Allen. PJ Allen said Trump said "Not Like Us" is his favorite song. So Trump was loving the DEI halftime show, right? Because any way that it benefits, you know what I'm saying? You know, Trump is an opportunist. So any way that it benefits, he's going to take advantage, right? Shout out to Crystal. Crystal said she wants to paint Trump as a racist when it fails. When it's convenient. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to recreate a coalition, right? They're trying to recreate a coalition because they saw their current campaign efforts failed dramatically. And if you ask me, right now is the perfect time for people to sever the line between us and the Democrats. But unfortunately, you don't really see that happening, right? Let me ask you guys this question. To the protect the culture people, how is the culture being protected if Ayanna Presley is waving her clipboard around like she's the reparations representative, running around telling everybody who, what, and how reparations should be done? HR 40. Are you serious? Where was she at with this during the Biden administration? She had 4 whole years. She had 4 years. 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Shout out to Detroit 313. Detroit 313 said they scared of Biden and worshiping Zaddy's balls. Facts. Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said, I never believed that Trump would give us reparations or that we could convince him to do so. I think the most expected from him is his platinum plan if he ever brings that up again. Here goes the thing. It's lots of ways that you could eat under Trump. You know what I'm saying? It's lots of ways that you could eat under Trump. We highlight that, right, on the other channel, right? But here's the thing. In all fairness, right, here's the actual question. Has there ever been a formal petition to Trump or conservatives regarding anything related to reparations? You can't do it because the Democrats have completely taken ownership of it, right? This is the whole protect the culture thing, right? Everybody talks about protect the culture, right? But it's funny when it comes to actual history, actual ownership of history is not really protected. If actual ownership of history was protected, we wouldn't have the immigration issues by the way that we have now in regards to the 14th Amendment being the vehicle of immigration, because the 14th Amendment was created for what? The 14th Amendment was created to restrict savage colonial immigrants from owning black slaves in the United States, right? When it comes to the 14th Amendment, the immigrants in the situation were the slave owners. Somehow in 2025, the immigrants somehow get birthright citizenship out of the 14th Amendment. Somebody make it make sense. Shout out to shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, yeah, we can eat off Trump. Facts. Regardless whether it's cryptocurrency or cats and dogs, you can find a way you can eat under the Trump presidency. You know what I'm saying? This is a fact. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Make sure y'all show Black Free Thinker some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man Black Free Thinker for funding the organization and helping y'all eat cats and dogs under the Trump presidency.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Hello Kitty, but it ain't there, it's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing in the where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took when that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And the cat got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that
cats, eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, eat the cat.
Fuck that cat.
Yeah, shout out to Black Free Thinker. That's facts. We can definitely eat off of the Trump presidency. The formulas are out there, man. You can make dough. You know what I'm saying? You could definitely make dough. You could be a millionaire by the end of this 4 years. Facts. Shout out to my man Detroit 313. Detroit 313. Detroit 313 said Ayanna, the color purple blob, was quiet when California Democratic Congress has shut down the reparations for Black Americans. And where's she at? This is facts, bro. This is exactly what I'm saying. So now all of a sudden, she's quote unquote leading the charge. Like, man, stop it. Girl, sit your ass down. Why didn't you ask for reparations when your boss was the president? Oh, because we're not going to talk nasty to the boss because the boss going to fire us. You know what I'm saying? This is all fake. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Blade. It's fake. You know what I'm saying? It's fake. Shout out to DBB. What's good with the DBB? Welcome back. Make sure y'all show DBB some love. Those are flames, some radiation emoji, subduction in the chat for DBB for funding the organization and standing on business.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Shout out to Al. What's good with it, bro? So we're going to take a look at this, right? We're going to take a look at this. I mean, this irks me. Ayanna Presley, quote unquote, reintroduces HR 40 reparations bill in the House. We just had a red wave. What does she think is going to happen? Now, the simps are going to come out and they're going to talk completely around this nonsense. They're going to talk around this nonsense. This is going to be the opportunity to go in on Trump. Trump is the president of the United States. Reparations are a debt that's owed. Literally everyone knows this. This doesn't need to be repeated 5 million times, right? But the talk around is going to come because people don't want to address Ayanna Presley directly. The same way people don't want to address Jasmine Crockett directly, right? Well, we're going to address Ayanna Presley directly. We're going to address her directly. Because I don't understand. You've had the same employer for greater than 4 years. Your boss was the president for the last 4 years. And now the guy that didn't get campaigned on reparations, didn't campaign on reparations, didn't get petitioned or propositioned anything about reparations, didn't collect votes because of a reparations or I got your back Black people promise, is supposed to just stop what he's doing and drop reparations because Chrome Dome says so. It don't make any sense. Black Free Thinker says she used to be a part of the Onyx. The Fredro Star. What was the other one? Sticky Fingers. You know what I'm saying? So here's my question for everybody. How much sense does this make? Yeah, shout out to Detroit 313. Again, Ice Cube warned them, but look what happened to Ice Cube. It's the same thing that happens to everyone. The monolith formed like Voltron, and the monolith attacked. She's going to be a hero, though. Everybody throw some capes in the chat. She's going to be a hero. She's going to be a hero. You know what I'm saying? We should get her a handkerchief to wipe her head off with that has an S on it. You know what I'm saying? She like Lil Mo, Superwoman. You know what I'm saying? Representative Ayanna Presley has formally announced the reintroduction of HR 40 during a red wave, to a bill to establish a federal reparations commission for Black Americans in the 119th Congress. Now, as much as the Democrats are linked with sports and are linked with network TV, you don't think that the timing of Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl show had anything to do with this? We're going to peel back the layers on this like the hairstyle that Ayanna Presley asked for when she sits at the barber chair. You know what I'm saying? It says, today, I'm deeply honored to reintroduce H.R. 40. You should be disgraced. She's honored to do it. She's honored to do it. How far do y'all think that this is getting? Shout out to right. Shout out to Jay Fields. Shut him down. Shut him down here. That right. Slam. You know what I'm saying? Get ready. Get ready. Let the dims be dims. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Historic legislation to establish a federal commission to examine the lasting legacy of slavery. How cute. Under a Trump presidency, so we can fall back into mediocrity and point at Trump and say, he's so mean, he's so racist, he ain't giving us no reparations. He never said he was giving us no reparations. That was your boss. That was your team. That was your peoples. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I got to... Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, nah, I think she's being an opportunistic ass baldy. Yeah. Yeah, she is. Shout out to Jay. Jay, yeah, facts. Jay says, yeah, they pushing for everything now when they have no control. Now it's time for HR 40, Medicare for all, stop a non-stop of LGBTQ bills. Yeah. Hey. You see how the Democrats have this dyslexia? They do things backwards. See, they did this after the election that they lost. And again, you know, this is just a bill for a commission to be formed in a study. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I agree. Shout out to Detroit 313. Detroit 313 says it's not even a true history of Black Americans, but this is a narrative they're trying to push. Exactly. And once they get this accomplished, you know what they're going to do. You know what they're going to do. We're playing another game of who's holding the crowbar. After Ayanna Presley used the crowbar to scrape all the AstroTurf off of her scalp, then she'll use the crowbar to open up reparations like the borders that they love. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, I'm literally bumping Attack of the Bald Heads right now, bro. I'm dead. I'm dead. Shout out to P. Morton. P. Morton said, introduced in every Congress since 1989. Sounds like some sort of futile tradition at this point. That's what it sounds like. Now, let me ask you guys this question. If it was introduced in every Congress since 1989 and it's now 2025, what's happened? What's happened to it? See, because if it's been introduced in every Congress since 1989, there's a problem. What's that problem? You know what I'm saying? So today, I'm deeply honored to reintroduce H.R. 40, historic legislation to establish a federal commission to examine the lasting legacy of slavery, to develop reparations proposals for descendants of, quote unquote, enslaved Africans. Okay. And Trump is going to sign this. And everybody's going to talk around the fact that this is nonsense because it provides an opportunity to attack Trump, and it provides an opportunity to talk sassy about Democrats. So we can take the, you know, I'm not going to take a stance on anything, but I have a stance on everything type of situation that people tend to do. You know what I'm saying? Introduced in every Congress since 1989, the bill calls for the creation of a comprehensive policy blueprint to address historic and ongoing harms to Black communities. from the era of enslavement through the present day. Now, how does this work if these are slavery reparations? And when they say black communities, right? See, black communities, quote unquote, is different than descendants of enslaved Africans, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. If I said I'm going to create something for Asian people, right? Creating something for Asian people is different than creating something for Chinese people, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, then give me a thumbs down. So in this article here, it goes from quote unquote enslaved Africans, which is problematic to begin with, right? Then it extends to quote unquote to address problems in quote unquote black communities. Okay. And again, remember, Trump is going to sign this off tomorrow. All right. After Doge runs through it. You know what I'm saying? After they run this through Doge, Trump going to sign it off. And then he going to give Van Jones the pen. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Presley was joined in the news conference by Representatives Yvette Clarke, Bonnie Watson Coleman, Summer Lee, Jonathan Jackson, and Latifah Simon, as well as former Representative Erica Lee Carter, daughter of the late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who served as lead sponsor of the bill until her passing last July. Let me ask you guys this question. If, say, for instance, you worked at a job since 1989 and you failed at your job every year up until 2025, do you even think that you'd still be working at that company in 2025? I would not. How many people agree with Black Free Thinker? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker says much of the ongoing harm has been inflicted to us by the Democrats. I wouldn't disagree with that. Yet and still, right, it has been, but at the same time, we enable the Democrats, right? So a lot of us, to the amount of 80 to 85%, enable the Democrats to then do harm against us, right? You know what I'm saying? We put the bullets in the gun and then hand it over to somebody, and then they start shooting at us, and we say, where are these bullets coming from, right? That's what tends to happen. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says we're at a critical inflection point in America, and the moment cannot be more urgent. Here, look, with Black history under attack and white supremacy emboldened. Now, let's deal with this. I would go as far as to say the Democrats contribute to the attack on Black history. Right? I would go as far as to say white supremacy has emboldened Ayanna Presley to stand there in front of a microphone and plebiscite babble. Right? Now, let me ask you guys this question. How long has Black history been under attack? Black history has been under attack forever, right? Where was this fight spirit during the CRT era? Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. So now listen, if Black history has been under attack and white supremacy has been emboldened, why would you wait for the anti-DEI guy, the alleged white supremacist that they call him all the time, and all of his allies and colleagues to red wave the United States government and then stand your ass up somewhere and say, I'm going to reintroduce this bill? Where's the strategy in that? Shout out to James Sumler. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to my man Poppy Blanco. What's good with you, bro? Yo, I don't know why you don't have a wrench, bro. I think something happened with when I had to hide my channel for like 3 months. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch of the members ain't there. My videos is locked. Some people that had wrenches don't have wrenches no more. So I don't want you to think that I de-wrenched you, bro, because I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you back together as soon as I get the video over. What's good with it, bro? I'm good, man. Good to see you. Hope everything been well, man. We got to link up, man. Yo, hit me up. Speaking of which, bro, hit me up on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on Twitter. It's good to see you, though, man. I hope all's going well with you, bro. Shout out to, yo, speaking of which, man, shout out to my man Poppy Blanco, man. My man Poppy Blanco do videos, too. So make sure if y'all not subscribed to his channel, y'all go check him out, man. That's my dude right there. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says we're at a critical inflection point in America, and the moment cannot be more urgent. Why? Because they decided to wait for Trump to be in office to do all this? Now, let me ask you guys the question. What do you all think is the purpose of this? And I'm not trying to be funny, man, but the Democrats sent Ayanna Presley out here to do this. They'd have had better luck sending Jasmine Crockett out there to do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. There's no better time to reintroduce this bill than during Black History Month. There we go. There we go. And this is what I'm talking about with the race simping, the MK Ultra, and we're gonna tap that emotional nerve. No, actually, there is a better time to have done this. There were 4 Black History Months during the Biden administration, right? And then there was also, 4 periods of 365 days during the Biden administration, which would have been a better time to do this if they actually wanted to do this. They're doing this for it to fail on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AJ. AJ says the villain apologized. Yeah, when I'm wrong, bro, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with apologizing when I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? What's good with you, bro? See, and AJ got his wrench. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta fix the channel, man. So, give me about 2 weeks to try to see if I can figure out what's going on with it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta agree. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen says the strategy is to do what Democrats do. Being disruptive just because they can. And shout out to Hurricane IQ. And shout out to you, Hurricane IQ, for dropping the link to Undocumented too. Y'all see Hurricane IQ out here being a mod extraordinaire. Hats off to you, bro. Shout out to my man. Speaking of other content creators, shout out to my man, Brother Ray. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all go and check out Brother Ray's channel. You know what I'm saying? What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Terrence. What's good with you? So, they put this, they put the Super Bowl thing out there, and we're gonna get people charged up off the Super Bowl, and yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got Kendrick out here. You know what I'm saying? Then Ayanna Presley says, I got this failed reparations bill that I'm gonna put out here during the red wave, and we're gonna get everybody back. And if we build up the momentum for this, well, don't you worry. All you got to do is just deal with 4 years of Trump. And if you vote for us, we'll get all this in order for you. They're not going to get anything in order. They're not going to get anything in order. This is all smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is the question, right? The only response that anyone should have to any of this is, why are you doing this now? Why didn't you do this for the last 4 years? You had 4 years to do this. Why are you doing it now? What about California? These are the questions that people need to ask, if you ask me. I really, really, really hope that people don't fall for this. You know what I'm saying? I really hope that they don't. With Black history under attack and white supremacy emboldened, there is no better time to reintroduce the bill during Black History Month. I'm not even going to go there. A time when we reflect on our history, our struggle, our collective power. We're going to talk about that collective power part, because let me ask you guys this question, right? If you are encouraged to remain in consumerism, if you're encouraged to remain a consumer, how do you ever build assets, resources, or power? That's my question for you guys. How do you do it? How do you accumulate these things? How do you amass these things? Be a consumer. Collective power. You know what I'm saying? Everything's got to be related to our quote unquote struggle. Because nobody wants to do a halftime show where the rapper is Nat Turner. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to do a North Sentinel Island halftime show. Nobody wants to do the Kill the Boers halftime show. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Presley said in reference to the Donald Trump administration's assault on education and racial equity and inclusion measures. Now, we got to talk about this, right? We got to go here. Donald Trump administration's assault on education, racial equity, and inclusion measures. When Ayanna Presley is talking about this, she's talking about the Trump immigration policies. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's talking about. So now she wants to remind everybody, right, about history. So let's talk about history. More than 4 centuries ago, Africans were kidnapped, trafficked, and enslaved, forced to build this country under horrific brutality, the economy which we still benefit from today. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people knew this without her saying that? If you guys knew this without her saying that, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, then give me a thumbs down. So she says HR 40 hailed as a quote unquote necessary step towards dismantling white supremacy. So the time to dismantle white supremacy is when there's an alleged white supremacist red wave in the government. Again, make this make sense. This is why the Democrats lost. They lost because they're dumb. They still know that there's a large percentage of people that will respond to the MK Ultra, and as soon as they hear anything related to trauma or struggle or anything like that, they're going to jump, and they're going to jump high. And this is one of the reasons why I call it race simping. Oh my God, Rob's calling it race simping. He's sitting up there saying that WS doesn't exist. Sure, if you want to say that. But play the clip, right? When I say race simping, I'm talking about taking known information that's associated with trauma and introducing it to people in order to get a reflex reaction that does not benefit those people, but it benefits the person who introduces the trauma. That's what I mean when I say that. And people do it all the time. All the time. Outrage economy. Presley pointed to today's deep racial disparities, in particular, the nation's staggering black-white wealth gap. Let me ask you guys this question. Didn't we catch Ayanna Presley going in on Bitcoin? Shout out to Poppy Blanco. Poppy Blanco said race simping sounds funny as hell. It is, ain't it? It is, ain't it? It's hilarious, bro. Now, Ayanna Presley was sitting up there going in on Bitcoin. So, you know, when it comes to the idea of, and again, the Democrats are anti-wealth, right? When it comes to the nation's staggering black-white wealth gap, what's the idea that the Democrats have of the financial position that they believe black people should hold? That's my question. They are discouraging black people from investing in the fastest growing asset class in the world. How do you build wealth when the party that allegedly is supposed to be advocating for you is telling you not to invest in the fastest growing asset in the world? How do you build wealth? They care about the wealth gap? They don't care about the wealth gap. This is lies. You know what I'm saying? Presley pointed to today's deep racial disparities, in particular, the quote-unquote nation's staggering black-white wealth gap, as reflections of the ongoing harms stemming from the quote-unquote enslavement era. This shameful reality is the direct result of generations of precise, intentional policy harm codified into our laws and budgets, and it's specifically the result of slavery and the anti-black society that followed, the Congresswoman said. So now what she's doing is she black fisting it up. She getting on her pro-black grift. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, bro. Shout out to Poppy. Poppy said this is nothing but methods to keep Negroes entertained with minor shit while Elon Musk and Trump with friends get richer quietly. Honestly, shit, I wouldn't even say quietly, bro. They out in the open with it. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. Didn't the racial wealth gap increase a lot under them? Absolutely. Absolutely. The racial wealth exploded under them. Shout out to Caldona for throwing that definition in there. Race simping. Taking known information that's associated with trauma and reintroducing it to people in order to get a reflex reaction that does not benefit the victims, but intended to only benefit self. Yeah. Yeah. And you see people do this all the time. They do it all the time. This is one of the reasons why they got all this stuff down the line. We got the Kendrick performance. We're going to do it in February. And then here come Ayanna Presley with this. You know what I'm saying? Here come Ayanna Presley with this. Presley noted that more than 70 of her colleagues had signaled their support for the legislation in spite of the Trump administration's efforts to obscure the true history of the country. Like, this is ridiculous. Why is this even getting motion under the Trump administration? Why wasn't this taken care of under the Biden administration if this is something that they actually wanted to do? They don't want to do this. No matter how many attempts they look at this. No matter how many attempts they make to whitewash this history, the blood of our enslaved African ancestors, it just can't be erased from this land. We must acknowledge this. Again, why did you not say this to your direct employer when he was the president? You know, they're going to say stuff. They're going to bring this up. Trump and conservatives and Trump's people are going to respond and they're going to react, right? They're going to respond and they're going to react to this. And then what's going to happen is Ayanna Presley and all them, they're going to fall back. Look at Trump and them. Look at Trump and them. Now, yeah, look at Trump and them, right? Everybody is looking at Trump and them. But look at you. You only bringing this up to get a reflex response out of Trump and to try to get people emotionally involved and invested in the failed Democrats again, and have no intention or no pathways to getting this done. Let me ask you guys the question. What's the pathway to getting HR 40 passed right now, currently? How would this work numerically? White supremacy is rampant in this country. Just look at the current administration and our own legislative body. Look at the current administration. What about the past administration that didn't do this, that actually ran on doing things like this? They have contributed to the social and economic harms, to racial terror Black people have experienced in this country. Now, more than ever, we must acknowledge and repair those harms. Lady, that ship sailed. That ship sailed. And it sailed because the Democrats are incompetent. Senator Cory Booker last month reintroduced S-40, a companion bill to H.R. 40, in the upper chamber, where it has 19 co-sponsors, according to Congress. Now, I want you guys to listen to this. This part right here at the bottom in bold, right? You know how they say the fine print? Nah, this is the bold print right here. Under the Joe Biden administration, reparations advocates had urged the president to enact a federal reparations commission by executive order. In his 4 years in office, he failed to follow through. Yet, 80% support for 60 years. I don't like stuff that contributes to that. And if you ask me, Kendrick Lamar and his Super Bowl show contribute to that. Yeah, we're going to get them all pumped up on reparations under the Trump administration. There's a low probability of something like that happening under the Trump administration, and there's a high probability of stuff like that happening under the Biden administration, and they avoided Biden like the plague. Now we're supposed to take them serious. Please don't take them serious. Shout out to my man Carlton. What's good with it, bro? So now we got to talk about this DEI outrage. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people are outraged about the quote-unquote anti-DEI efforts, right? This is what I don't understand about the anti-DEI efforts. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people have heard the talking point? Integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us. We wasn't ready for integration. Integration financially destroyed us. How many times you guys heard that? Here's my question. Is it true? Look, man, shout out to Detroit 313. Detroit 313 said, didn't they forget the Democrats are the main terror of all black people? Remember Haitians at the border when they was getting whipped under the Biden administration? Right. They mad because Trump's, now mind you, even though the cats and dogs thing was inaccurate, right? They mad that Trump mentioned cats and dogs about in regards to Haitians, but they quiet about them whips and them horsebacks under the Biden administration. You know what I'm saying? Somebody make that make sense. And it was the Biden administration that ordered all that. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people would say that this anti-DEI campaign or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be looked at as, quote unquote, if you want to go on the extreme end, desegregation or deintegration, resegregation, right? We don't want DEI at our businesses. Well, it seems to me that everybody should be happy, right? Because if the talking points are integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us, and they saying we don't want you at our businesses, well, there goes the integration. So if you're advocating and fighting for the DEI to be upheld, right, you're actually fighting for integration. Because you're fighting to be integrated into their businesses, into their jobs. You're not advocating to create your own businesses or create your own jobs, right? So, you know, that's another place where I stray. I'm not on the same page as other content creators. Other content creators that poke their chest out and blindly say, you know, integration, the worst thing that ever happened to us. I mean, I guess. But how can you say integration is the worst thing that ever happened and then you outraged because now they're saying, well, we want to de-integrate our businesses. I thought integration was the worst thing that ever happened. Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Crystal. Crystal said DEI did not benefit us. And here's my thing, right? I would agree, right, that DEI did not benefit us. However, my stance is the only way for us to benefit us is for us to create our own means of production and define our own locus of control. I don't know why anybody is comfortable with, allowing the sprinkling of breadcrumbs and then, that being the main source of nutrition. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? I've never gotten that. I use this example when we talked about this on Undocumented the other day. If I started a cryptocurrency investment firm and I had Carlton and I had Black Free Thinker and I had DC Precise and I had Win Lose or Rug and I had AB Promotions, right? I had Detroit 313, right? All working for me. And then I use, shout out Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen, check the boxes. She's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Right? So we can use her as DEI the same way they use women as DEI, right? I wouldn't appreciate the government coming through saying, yo, you got to go hire, Nathan over here. Well, I want to give that job to somebody else. I want to give that job to Hurricane IQ, but I can't give it to Hurricane IQ because the government is telling me I have to give it to Nathan because we got Brooklyn Queen as the DEI, right? And we got everybody else, and I got to have a quota. So I got to have another DEI. I don't want them telling me what to do. See, that's deregulation, right? But now, on YouTube, the ongoing talking point on YouTube is that integration, quote unquote, right? Integration didn't do us no good. If integration didn't do us no good, then everybody should support the anti-DEI efforts, because anti-DEI efforts are removing the integration out of the equation, right? If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't, give me a thumbs down. So you can't have that as a talking point and then have DEI, anti-DEI outrage. Those two things create an erroneous situation. They don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So in addition to this whole DEI thing, right, they're trying to form, the pro-DEI coalition, right? And with the pro-DEI coalition, you got all these people and they're giving all these reasons of why there should be these boycotts. How do you all feel about these boycotts? I'm going to put it out there. I'm not boycotting anything. I'm not, you're not going to catch me not shopping somewhere or getting things that I need, you know what I'm saying, in the name of DEI. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm not doing that is because if you're boycotting, all that is having a temper tantrum saying, please play fair with me. Once somebody decides to play fair with you, what means of production have you gained from that? What factors of production have you gained from that? What equity have you gained from that? So you remain in consumerism. Yeah, shout out to Detroit 313. Nothing. You remain in consumerism. Okay, I guess I'll let you spend all of your money here. I guess I'll let you spend all your money here. What a privilege. You get to spend all your money. Then you get to stay a consumer. Then the racial wealth gap gets to continue to accelerate and stay open. Now, people can boycott. and they could boycott as long as they want, right? But make no mistake, all these companies that these people are talking about boycotting, you're going to need food and bottled water, and shout out to C19, toilet paper, right? Before those companies go broke, because they have millions and billions of dollars of liquid assets. They have financial vehicles like convertible bonds and preferred stock that they could flip and get liquid cash for. A boycott is not even going to be like a mosquito bite with them. It's not going to do anything. If anything, it's going to hurt the consumer. But then again, you have to ask yourself about being a consumer. Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane says, realistically, we don't own any major stores like that. So where do these people plan on going to? I heard Costco, but they're still white owned, right? Exactly. Now, notice how the reflex thought process was not, let's create a chain of stores. You see that? You see? The thought process is, let's bounce from this business to the next business. You see how, do you guys see the error in the thought process? So let's bounce from this business to this business. And then in 20 years, we can tell our grandkids, well, you know, we don't have any stores or anything like that. It doesn't make any sense. We don't have any factors of production, so you get trapped in a purgatory of consumerism. How do you build wealth if you're in the purgatory of consumerism? When you're in the listen, I'm going to explain something to you guys. A boycott. When do you all ever hear rich people boycotting? They don't. When do you ever hear about elites and oligarchs boycotting? They don't. Why? Why don't the rich or elites boycott? They don't boycott because they actually have the material assets. So they don't need to boycott. There's no need. They just start working internally. Only people that need boycott. See, when you need money because you don't have passive income, because you don't have self-generating, regenerating income, that's when you go on strike, which is another form of a boycott. You go on strike because you're begging your employer, please, please, please give me another 1% of your yearly revenue, please. When you're boycotting, you're begging, please, please, please let me spend my few pennies of disposable wealth with you. When's the last time you saw BlackRock go on strike? What the BlackRock got to go on strike for? They own every damn thing. So when you go on strike or when you boycott, who are you really getting together? Who are you really exposing? When you boycott, you're exposing your need for what those people have. And you're playing a game of chicken that's automatically programmed for you to be timed out on. You're going to time out before they do. You know what I'm saying? So what is that going to do for quote unquote DEI? What is that going to do? See, that's the question right there. That it's not a viable solution. You know what I'm saying? But people are being encouraged to do it. See, Labor Advocate calls for boycott on 6 companies cutting DEI policies. How many people even knew any of these companies had DEI policies? See, that's another question. I'm outraged by this DEI. Well, what was the DEI policy doing? I don't care about none of that. I'm just outraged. Well, okay.
For Labor Advocate, the Huerta is now calling for a boycott of Target stores following the company's decision to roll back its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives.
And she's not alone. Mahalo Medina talked to Huerta. He is live in Long Beach with more. Mahalo.
Well, Kathy and Jonathan, Target is the main focus of Huerta's boycott and others. There are 6 other companies, she said, should be boycotted as well.
If you don't respect our community, then, you shouldn't have our dollars.
Dolores Huerta, who co-led the successful United Farm Workers Great Boycott in the 60s and 70s, is getting ready to lead another, this time targeting Walmart, Lowe's, McDonald's, Ford, Meta, Amazon, and Target that have recently announced rollbacks to their diversity, inclusion, and equity programs that she says impacts not just communities of color, but disabled, LGBTQ+, women, and veteran workers. Huerta hopes to start with Target orchestrating press conferences and protests within the next few weeks.
In front of every Target store, and to let people know what is going on.
In a press release on the decision, Target says the company is concluding our 3-year diversity, equity, and inclusion goals and racial equity action and change initiatives as planned. They also are ending a program to help Black entrepreneurs, which was started after the George Floyd protests. The company had said it was going to end that initiative anyway. They also wrote it was stopping all external diversity-focused surveys, which tracks the company's progress on LGBTQ+ initiatives. As a result, Twin Cities Pride, a longtime partner of Target, said the company was not welcome at this year's Pride celebration and renounced its $50,000 sponsorship. Meta, responding to our request for comment, said its changes to their initiatives was because of the shifting legal and policy landscape. President Trump on...
Now, let me ask you guys this question. Out of everything that they've said here, what out of any of this can anybody tell me that they've received a material benefit from? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Yeah, look, shout out to Detroit 313. Detroit 313 says some of these stores are also the biggest employers in some of our neighborhoods too. Now, here's the right. So what is it? So then when they do these quote unquote DEI changes, when they're in quote unquote our neighborhoods, what they're gonna fire everybody? What about the people that work there in quote unquote our neighborhoods? Let's just say, for instance, you do make some type of economic dent or some type of dent in their revenue and they got to do cutbacks. Well, who's going to lose their jobs? See, this is the problem with not having factors of production, right? But we're dealing with the quote unquote empowerment dyslexia, right? The empowerment dyslexia of I'm going to bang on the door and make these white businesses show me some love instead of I'm going to create my own business and do vertical integration and control who I employ and the paychecks that I pay out and my own revenue. You know what I'm saying? Not only if you own your own businesses, you also will be able to have an opportunity to own the commercial real estate. Right. So when you own the commercial real estate, somebody like Brandon Johnson can't just say, well, I'm going to turn this building into a migrant shelter. Nah, because there's already a business here. Right. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker says they're not even hustling backwards right with that mess. Bro, facts. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said this won't last until Cinco de Mayo. Facts. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says Target has a lot of Black-owned products on their shelves. If you boycott Target, you're also boycotting those Black businesses. Facts. And we don't have any shelves to put those products on. Not a lot, at least. Right? So, again, right, we've already ran this down the line. We're going to run it down the line again. The integration is the worst thing that to us talking point. Okay, I hear that talking point. So then why are people outraged with the DEI thing? Right? It should be a blessing to be freed, quote unquote, from the constraints of their businesses, right? Because that's integration. During the times of segregation, would you be shopping at Target or would you be shopping at the place on Black Wall Street? You wouldn't be shopping at the place on Black Wall Street because you was fist pumping. You know what I'm saying? You'll be shopping at the place on Black Wall Street because that was the law. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be funny, man. You know what I'm saying? But they forced you to support your own businesses. Because you legally weren't allowed to do business with them. So in order to do any type of commerce, you had to do your own business. You had to create Negro leagues. Right? I mean, this is, am I wrong here? Somebody help me out. So again, the YouTube talking point of, you know, integration is the worst thing that ever happened to us. But then that means that anti-DEI would, by mathematical definition, right? If the integration is the worst thing that ever happened to us, right? Then that means that anti-DEI mathematically would be the negative inverse of that, would be the best thing that ever happened to us mathematically, right? But for some reason, people don't see it that way. I don't really see it any kind of way, but you know what I'm saying? We just running things down the line. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Alonda. What's good with it, Alonda? I appreciate you. Make sure y'all show Alonda some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Alonda for funding the organization and growing the organization. Definitely appreciate you.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said, like always, we'll miss the chance to take the steps forward to creating our own wealth and independence. We always got to learn the hard way. Well. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what Ron Isley said on One Day You're Here, the next day you're going, well, hello, baby. You know what I'm saying? Well. Shout out to Mike J. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show Mike J some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Mike J, for funding the organization and for growing the organization. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
So, right, I mean, look, check my logic, right? Check my logic mathematically, right? And again, this has been stated, right? So I'm not making this up. You know, y'all know I like to, y'all know I like to, I like to go in a little bit, right? But I'm not really doing that here, right? Like I'm being 100% serious. So if this talking point of integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us, if this is indeed true, right? Then the opposite of that would have to be the best thing that ever happened to us, right? So the opposite of that would be to, quote unquote, make America segregated again, which, I mean, I guess, I don't know if that's necessarily what cutting DEI policies is doing, but that's what people are taking it as, and that's what people are running with online. So let's pick up the baton and run the race, right? Let's run the race. I like to run. I like to go for a crisp, brisk morning run. Let's run, right? So is this true? Now, out of these quote unquote DEI policies, this is what people like Ayanna Presley is saying are anti-Black. Is it though? What's the actual material situation here? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says Trump is giving people what they want and they're upset. He's giving everybody what they want except for the people that actually paid him. We don't have a Bitcoin strategic reserve yet. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, I want an ethno-crypto state, right? I want an ethno-crypto state. I want a Bitcoin-only strategic reserve. Shout out to Nini. What's good with it, Nini? I want a Bitcoin only. See, they talking about an integrated. They're talking about an integrated sovereign asset reserve with other cryptocurrencies in it. No, I want Bitcoin only. I want the signs. Shout out to Carlton. We need the signs. Bitcoin only. When it comes to the strategic reserve, the national reserve, I'm a Bitcoin nationalist, a Bitcoin maximus. We only want Bitcoin in there. You know what I'm saying?
On day one of his presidency, signed executive order cutting DEI programs from the federal government. What that says that caused a ripple effect across the country.
And the least we can do is send a message.
Now it caused a ripple effect across the country, right? It was so strong it went across the country like a nuclear shockwave. Let me ask you guys this question: how many people felt this? Did you all feel the ripple? Now I bought me some ripple, but I didn't feel no ripple. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Caldona. Right. I'm an official ethno-cryptologist. Right. You know what I'm saying?
To Donald Trump's backers, you know what? If you don't want to support our community, then our community is not going to support you.
Amazon emailed us saying their decision to end some programs came in December and were part of routine assessments, writing each one of these programs addresses a specific disparity and is designed to end when that disparity is eliminated. They haven't told us what disparity.
Now, let me ask this question about these DEI companies, the DEI initiatives, right? Let's just take, for instance, this one right here, Amazon, right? Each one of these programs addresses a specific disparity. Did they solve the disparity? Right. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Right. Marching with Bitcoin hoods. Facts. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Got the orange hoods. You know what I'm saying?
It was eliminated. But they did write, we will keep investing in programs that help us reflect those audiences and help our employees grow. Meantime, Reverend Al Sharpton and his National Action Network are holding buy-in.
Who? Did y'all hear who they said? Who did they just say? Who did they just say?
And help our employees grow. Meantime, Reverend Al Sharpton and his National Action Network are holding buy-ins for companies like Costco that are keeping their DEI initiatives. So
now, why isn't Al Sharpton encouraging people to get business grants, small business grants, apply for loans, yada, 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 and start their own businesses so people can have their own supply chains and vertical integration? These ones over here won't work with you. Go beg over there. I heard they drop bigger breadcrumbs over there. There should be no mystery why things we need are non-existent. Go on over there and get you some Costco, nah? So Al Sharpton is encouraging continued consumerism. That's what empowerment looks like. Consumerism. Not my definition. It's not how I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
It was Delta, Cleveland Cavaliers, JP Morgan, Apple, Ben & Jerry's, and Elf Beauty. Sharpton says he's strategizing boycotts as well, but wants to show
boycotts. He's strategizing wearing weakness on your sleeve. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, I'm rocking an orange hoodie today. That's how serious I am. Hey, Look at Carlton Way's profile picture. You know what I'm saying? look at Carlton's profile picture. He ain't playing out here neither. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you guys this question, man. Like Al Sharpton really begging for everybody to be powerful. Go beg at the next store. Go get your cardboard sign and go out there. Please let us spend all our money here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tarek. What's good with it, bro? If I listen, I hate to say this because it's gonna sound bad, but you know, whatever. Boycotting is such a pathetic display. It's such a pathetic display. It's so pathetic. You know what I'm saying? Please let me bleed my wallet out at your store. Now, Al Sharpton's not even encouraging anybody to hold on to their money. What is anyone going to do with $25? The best thing you could do with $25 is go buy you some Bitcoin. That's the best thing you can do with $25. Aside from that, there's nothing you can do with $25. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hurricane IQ. Make sure you guys show Hurricane IQ some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Hurricane IQ. Hurricane IQ said, we need Anton, please. Facts. We need Anton, please. Here we go. What you think about the National Action Network, Anton?
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Yo, that's facts. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. You know what I'm saying? People up here crying like this about DEI.
You cheated! I'm going to tell on you!
That's how they out here sounding, man. That's how they out here sounding. Shout out to Hurricane. Make sure y'all show Hurricane some love for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching dimes.
Yeah. Hey, look, shout out to Crystal. Crystal said they probably gave him a bag for misleading black people. They probably did. They give everyone else one. You know what I'm saying? They probably did. But what Al Sharpton is doing here is he's attempting to lead people into a continued cycle of consumerist purgatory. You know what I'm saying? A continued cycle of purgatory. He's not telling you buy a building, buy a store, pool your money together. He's not doing none of that. Shout out to DSA. What's good with it, bro? He's not he's not doing that. He's saying go beg somewhere else. Here goes some $25 gift cards too, just in case they say no at first. Spend a little bit of this $25 gift card and then, beg a little bit more.
In programs that help us reflect those audiences and help our employees grow. Meantime, Reverend Al Sharpton and his National Action Network are holding buy-ins for companies like Costco that are keeping their DEI initiatives. So is Delta, Cleveland Cavaliers, JP Morgan, Apple, Ben & Jerry's, and Elf Beauty. Sharpton says he's strategizing boycotts as well, but wants to show support for businesses like Costco that are wise and courageous enough to stand firm in their values.
Here's my question. What is this going to do? How about start your own businesses? If we all started businesses and our businesses flourished, do you notice conch-wearing clown wouldn't support any of them? Go beg somewhere else. Go to a building that you don't own. Take the little paycheck to paycheck disposable income that you have and run it all through the Visa and MasterCard machine somewhere else. I want you guys to, people listen to this dude. You know what I'm saying? How is this helping anyone build wealth? And this is what I'm saying. The Democrats are pro-consumerism, anti-wealth. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Now, again, right? Shout out to the quote unquote protect the culture people, right? Now, to the protect the culture people, how do you let financial initiatives that are necessary for day-to-day survival slip into the hands of a corrupt scumbag like Al Sharpton? Now, again, right? We got to run the, I need an answer to this. We have to keep running this down the line. We've heard this repeated multiple times. Integration with the worst thing that ever happened to How many times have we heard that? If integration with the worst thing that ever happened to why then are people banging out for the DEI? I mean, it's nothing to see here, folks, right? It is what it should be. Is not only is it nothing to see here, folks, but the anti-DEI and the stripping of DEI, if integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us, rolling back the DEI policies mathematically has to be the opposite inverse, has to be the best thing to happen to us. But that's not what's being said. So somebody, we have to iron out that inconsistency, because see, both sides of the equation aren't equal there. You know what I'm saying? They're not equal there. We've done a negative transition or reflected a situation over a reflecting line, and it's not the same reflection. You know what I'm saying? So it must make sense, right? Currently, it does not make sense. So we either need to make sense of this, or we need to throw it away, right?
To stand firm in their values.
We have to do something.
It's still not clear exactly when those boycotts are going to be planned, but she says within the next few weeks. Meantime, we did get a statement from Walmart a short time ago saying, in part, that they remain committed to creating culture where everyone can be successful and ensuring we are a Walmart for everyone, they say. And McDonald's just emailed us saying as well, they had carefully considered how their inclusion.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to the quote unquote, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, Darlene. Shout out to Darlene. Darlene said, I think Al is all for himself and the money. I don't care for Al. Yeah, I would agree. If you guys would agree with Darlene, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, then give me a thumbs down. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Inclusion policies could evolve or would evolve and are making those changes. They say they are committed to inclusion. We did reach out to Lowell.
Now, when it comes to this inclusion, right, the DEI, let's run again, we got to run the DEI down the line. Let me ask you guys this question. Is crowbarring other people into our reparations claim, is that DEI? Because they're diversifying, right, eligibility and including other people. So, you know, let's examine it from that standpoint. No one likes that, right? So again, these things should be consistent across the board. Now, like I said, we got to keep running it down the line, right? So we're going to go down to the next item. Is open borders DEI? That's my question. Is open borders DEI? If open borders is DEI, give me a thumbs up. If open borders is not DEI, then give me a thumbs down. Now, if you're confused, if you're confused, right? Let's look at it, right? You're quote unquote including, right, by opening up the border, and you're quote unquote diversifying, right, by adding, you know, people who are of you know, have significant differences into the country. So how can you be, you know, pro border enforcement and then there's an issue with the anti-DEI rollbacks? How can those things exist at the same time? So you will see this, right, on YouTube. You will see content creators who are like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just deported another one, and then boo-hoo, DEI. Okay, how can that be at the same time? You know what I'm saying? How can these things exist at the same time? You know what I mean? So my thing is, you know, I think people need to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And people need to figure it out in a sensible way. And I don't think that people on YouTube are encouraged to figure things out in a sensible way. I think that more people than just Ayanna Presley and Kendrick Lamar try to use the MK Ultra technique on people. You know what I'm saying? So let's look into this a little bit more. Shout out to Dwayne. What's good with it, bro?
Reverend Al Sharpton taking a stand against President Trump's moves to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at companies around the country.
So soldier of fortune, Al Sharpton. Aren't you guys? Don't you guys just celebrate Al Sharpton as our, you know, age inappropriate warrior of truth, justice? You know what I'm saying? And pink lotion.
Reverend Al Sharpton taking a stand against President Trump's moves to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at companies around the country. Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino is live in East Harlem with more on how a day of shopping took on a more profound meaning. Hi, Duarte.
Hey there, Arthur. The Reverend Al Sharpton is trying to send a message to businesses. If you don't support DEI, there are a lot of Americans who won't support you.
If you don't support DEI, then there's a lot of Americans that won't support you. Now, wait till Al Sharpton starts throwing in the blackness and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, Lester's, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Yeah, the Lester's, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is. Shout out to Darlene. Darlene said, I'm sort of confused. What's up? What's on your mind, Darlene? Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said, the man is 70. Where is he going to sit down? When is he going to sit down? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dwayne Rhodes. Dwayne Rhodes said it's in a Dr. Claude Anderson book written years ago. Yeah, probably what? Powernomics? Shout out to Nini. Nini says no one under the age of 65 is listening to Al Sharpton. I would rather it be 0 people are listening to Al Sharpton. 0. None. Not even people that, like, you know, like no one ever. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Darlene. Darlene says DEI really doesn't have anything to do with Black people, right? Well, here's the thing, right? As far as DEI goes, I would look at DEI for the material, actual, quote unquote, whatever is defined by DEI, because these things tend to have rolling definitions. And a lot of times the definitions can come in addition to an associated dog whistle, and people will latch on to certain things and just run with it, right? Like, say, for instance, okay, so you have a bunch of people that'll just run around and just repeat and repeat and repeat. DEI means Black. DEI means Black. DEI means Black. No, actually, DEI means diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? And they'll keep repeating DEI is Black, DEI is Black, and then you'll hear about the attempted assassination on Trump and how he blamed DEI for that. And, you know, the person who was under scrutiny happened to be a white woman, right? So then what happens is people say, well, you know, DEI and affirmative action benefited white women, right? And then you see these Senate hearings against DEI white women. People will say this, right? As it, like, people will be like, well, DEI is code word for white women. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, it's not really code word, because then you can sit down and watch a Senate hearing on Forbes where they're attacking the white woman, right? Who's the alleged DEI at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So in these type of situations, if you ask me, the best thing to do is to pinpoint every single case and drill each case repeatedly. And drill each case for inconsistencies, because there always will be inconsistencies. As far as, quote unquote, anything, quote unquote, being for black people, people seem to have a little bit of trouble playing the dog whistle checker chess game. You know what I'm saying? People seem to have a difficulty with that. You know what I'm saying? So, my advice would be, I would advise people, if you're going to use absolutes as they apply to the situation at hand that's being discussed. I would stay away from broad statements, because when you go on YouTube, you got all these YouTubers that will again scream and repeat, DEI is black, DEI means black. And then, you'll have, somebody like, some random person be like, well, these people sit over here and say that DEI is black, but here's a DEI hearing with a Boeing, white female, pilot. And then, because of the wordplay, they have somebody looking crazy, which people look crazy all the time. They just don't know that they look crazy, and their subscribers look crazy as hell, and they don't know that they look crazy because they're in an echo chamber. You know what I'm saying? So, my thing is, DEI has to do with black people when DEI has to do with black people. When DEI doesn't have to do with black people, DEI doesn't have to do with black people. You know what I'm saying? That would be the way that is the way that I approach it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I approach it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, no one with an IQ above 65 is listening to Once Fat Albert. Right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Darlene. Darlene says, quote unquote, we're not getting anything out of it anyway, right? Well, I mean, it depends, right? It depends, right? If you want to take an extreme case, it could be said, right, that the Emancipation Proclamation was first step DEI, right? It could be said that the Civil Rights Movement was like step 2 DEI. It could be said if we go extreme, right? Now, as far as not getting anything out of it, I don't know. I can't make that as a blanket, assertion, right? Because again, if we weren't getting anything out of it, I don't think that people would be, outraged the way that they are. Because there's people that play both sides of the outrage fence. You got the people that'll take the DEI thing, you know what I'm saying, that they fly off the handle and say, well, Trump's doing all this anti-black stuff. And then in the exact same person will then turn around and say, DEI is nothing but a benefit for white women. If DEI largely benefits white women, then how is the removal of DEI anti-black? This being a statement made by the same person. How does that work? You know what I'm saying? DEI means black, right? All three of these said by the same person. DEI means black. DEI only benefits white women. Trump is following through on anti-Black measures by removing DEI? How are all three of those things existing in the same reality? You know what I'm saying? So now, again, all of these things that we talked about as far as quote unquote DEI, right? Like I said, the Emancipation Proclamation could be looked at as DEI, right? Because what's the I in DEI? Is inclusion, right? It's inclusion. So, you know, you begin to be included into society, right? Then you got the civil rights movement, right? Okay, you begin to be further included into society. Then integration, right? You had a talking point. Integration is the worst thing that ever happened to us. Okay, now let's pause for a second. Okay, some people say integration is the worst thing that ever happened to us. So, you know, you could actually say that I in DEI is, you know, diversity, equity, and integration, right? Like you could say that. So if they're getting rid of that, literally everybody should be happy, right? So let's see what Al Sharpton says.
This is what he did today. He bought he bought $125 gift cards and gave them out to people, brought them over here to this East Harlem Costco and let them shop to send a message that if they support Costco's going to support them.
How is that a message? So listen, check this out. I want you to understand what was just said. Al Sharpton took his own money, bought all these $25 gift cards, right? Gave the gift cards to the people. Of course, Costco didn't turn the money down, and I've never heard it like this, right? But somehow them spending their money there is Costco supporting them. I always thought, like, you know, when people support my channel, it's because they send me a super chat. When people give me money or when people give other people money, they're supporting them. I've never heard, you know what I'm saying, like you being supported by being allowed to spend your money. That's actually like those people supporting Costco. Right? You know what I'm saying? Costco is supporting them by allowing them to spend money that they don't have there. We'll support you in all your endeavors by letting you drain your wallet here. I've never heard anything like that. I've never heard anything like that. Have you guys? I've never heard anything like that. No one's, you know, no one said anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Like that is, look, shout out, shout out to YP. I would say YP, right? Shout out to YP, right? Do that. That like that don't make sense. I'm gonna support you by allowing you to drain your pockets into my cash register. What? That's support? Listen again. Listen.
Stop to send a message that if they support Costco's going to support them.
We will stand with those that stand with us.
So there go to coalition. There goes the coalition. Who's stopping any of these people? All these people, right? Shout out to Kid Gravity. What's good with it? All these people standing behind Al Sharpton. Who's stopping them from shopping anywhere? Who's stopping them? Costco standing up, taking all that money, Hurricane. Costco standing up, taking all that money. Like, you cannot make this up.
We will stand with those that stand with us.
Now, Costco says it's sticking with its DEI programs, and Sharpton wants to encourage other businesses to do the same.
Now, why is Al Sharpton encouraging these other businesses to maintain these quote unquote DEI programs? Someone make it make some. Listen, hey, someone make it make sense.
President Trump ordered all federal DEI staff on paid leave and signed orders to dismantle DEI programs in both government and private businesses. Now, one of those orders requires the government to review DEI policies of public companies, but the National Action Network says it won't back down. They plan to boycott companies that get rid of their diversity.
So they're going to boycott. They're going to boycott. They're going to boycott. Now, look at this, right? The products that they carry in these stores, do you think any of the companies that are manufacturers of the products that they carry in these stores, do you think any of them rolled back their DEI policies? Absolutely. They absolutely have. So we got a whole bunch of inconsistencies that we got to run down the line. We got to keep running these down the line. Again, got to run the first one down the line. Integration was the worst thing that happened to right? Integration was the worst thing that happened to Well, if they're rolling back the diversity, equity, and integration programs, right? Literally all parties should be satisfied. That should be that's what you call a square deal. But there's people saying two inconsistent messages. Two inconsistent messages. Now, again, these alleged quote-unquote programs, right? To what extent, like this lady right here that's on the screen, is she about to get fired because they rolled back the program? No. She's not getting fired because they rolled back the program. Shout out to Kurt. Right. About as square of a deal as you can get in America. All the wrong angles. Right? All the wrong angles. Shout out to Jacoby. What's good with it, bro? So again, they're encouraging you into a consumerism purgatory, right? Because again, how long is a boycott going to last? Listen, boycotts are the most ineffective, pathetic ways of dealing with anything. Listen, I'm going to explain something to you. When you don't have it, listen, there's actual equations, right, that calculate the quote unquote economy. You know what I'm saying? Right? There's equations that calculate the economy. So we're going to look at one of these equations. See if I can find it here. Yeah, here. Okay. So we're going to look at this, right? The equation for the gross domestic product. All right. The equation for the gross domestic product. What's the equation for the gross domestic product? What is the gross domestic product? What is the GDP? See? Here's one of the equations for the gross domestic product. All right, so let's run this up. Right, we're gonna run this up right here. All right, just so people can see. What is gross domestic product? Gross domestic product formula and how to use it. Right? So here is a model of how you get to the gross domestic product. You can go down here, the expenditure approach. Gross domestic product equals consumption plus government spending plus investment plus net exports. Okay, let's go down some more. All right, that's the only. There's other models, but that's the only one that they give, which that's fine, right? We can put a formula to it, right? Now, people always make this statement, this false statement, quote unquote, that these boycotts will, quote unquote, be effective, right? Now, let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to any of these businesses, how much liquid capital do these businesses have? How much in liquid assets does Target have? That's my question. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Shout out to Tarek. Tarek said, Rob, you mentioned that boycotting is useless. But question, wouldn't that have helped with the non-blacks that put businesses in our neighborhood? If the businesses have already been put up, if you ask me, it's too late. Right? If you're boycotting, what that means, boycotting is an indication that you don't have means of production or factors of production. That's what that means. Because if you're boycotting, what that means is that whatever it is that you're boycotting for, you have to go to an external source for it. That shout out to Kirk. Exactly. Kirk said the exact same thing that I said. Businesses shouldn't have been able to get a foothold. Boycotting is useless. And this is the problem when you have a bunch of people, who don't have any economic experience trying to play like economists, right? You got a whole bunch of people never shot nothing, never popped nothing, need to stop fronting. And they just say anything. And then that anything gets done. And then nothing gets accomplished. Nothing gets produced. There's no proof of work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to Kirk. Something wrong with that community. Yeah. Facts. The whole fact that there's no means or factors of production, that is the material problem. Like, that's the problem. Boycotting is always an indicator that there's a lack of means of production. It is always an indicator of that. People who have means of production never boycott. And the reason why they don't boycott is because the reason why the people are boycotting is because there's an asset or a commodity that they need. If you don't have any factors of production, then that means that you have zero possession of that asset or that commodity. If you do own factors of production, you have factors of production, which means that you have some holding of an asset or commodity. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, and I put the formula of the economy on the screen to make this point. You mathematically can't economically punish someone if you have zilch impact on the economy. You can't do it. That's like having a gun with no bullets and threatening to shoot somebody. I'm gonna shoot you with this empty gun. You know what I'm saying? So, when people do the boycott thing is threatening with an empty gun. Target is gonna outlast your boycott before you outlast your hunger. before you outlast your need for batteries, before you outlast your need for trash bags. And then again, at the same time, how have these DEI programs improved anything, or how does removing them hurt anything? How does it, what goes on? You know what I'm saying? What's the impact? Like, what's the effects? People, like the very same people that say, quote unquote, that they say the three same things. DEI is code for black, DEI is code for white women, and DEI didn't help us. Okay, well, my thing is, how are all of those three things that like existing at the same time? We got to deal with what actually exists. And what actually exists is that we don't have any means of production, or we don't have sufficient means of production in order to maintain a scarcity situation. Like that's the actual situation. Yeah, shout out to Tarek. Tarek says, true, I can see that. I guess that's why gas boycotts don't work either. Yeah, gas boycotts will never work. You know what I'm saying? The reason why gas boycott will never work is, for one, because you're going to need to use your gas before they run out of gas or before they go broke. And whatever means around how you don't use gas, those people are using gas. I'm not going to use gas, so I'm going to stop driving my car. So I'm going to get an Uber. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, the gas revenue that they lost from you is just getting replaced by however you're getting from point A to point B mechanically. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said, the ones who called for this boycott clearly did not think of a long-term plan. That's another reason why I'm not participating. Facts. What's the plan? You know, Al Sharpton didn't say, well, you know, put, you know, $25 away every week from your paycheck, you know what I'm saying, and start a business, or, you know, yada, yada, yada. No, he didn't say none of that. Shout out to Leonard. And Leonard said, now y'all see why we call it the matrix of entrapment. Facts. Shout out to Kirk. Kirk says, check out that survey of consumer finances, and you will see how we have no wealth and no buying power. Little wealth we have is tied up in pensions and dies with boomers. And pensions, this is the anti-Bitcoin community, right? But, you know, pensions aren't keeping up with inflation. But the community is largely against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got nothing for that. You know what I mean? You know, what is the S&P 500 doing right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why people still use pensions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and honestly, as far as these pensions go, you know, if you know, most of the red states are filing to put Bitcoin into their pensions. You know what I'm saying? Because the pensions are depreciating. You know what I'm saying? But you can't tell anybody, like, you can't tell anybody anything. Everybody just crawl back into their echo chamber. Bitcoin is a scam. Okay, I feel warm and fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn 60 years old and you working at this company right here as a greeter. I don't know how it happened. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said it's basically impossible to boycott essential industries unless you own them. Facts. Now, luxury items we could boycott, but we're not their major buyers either, so it'll end the same way. Facts. But then again, my question is why? Okay, so shout out to Biggie, right? Notorious B.I.G. He said, I don't chase them, I replace them, right? I don't understand why people don't take the, let's not chase them, let's replace them. Boycotts is chasing them. So why not replace them? right? But see, this is what I'm saying, though. The mentality is not there. The immediate mentality is to go find another of the exact same situation to get into, and not to create a self-sustaining situation. Like, that's the immediate, that's the immediate go-to. But then somehow, like that, somehow, you know, we didn't contribute. I got to tell you what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? I gotta tell everybody what they want to hear. White supremacy. You know what I'm saying? There you go. So now it ain't nothing, there's nothing else to discuss. You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to Kirk. Kirk says, not gonna lie, I'm a professor in Texas and my pension is pretty good for what I put in it, on the same system as the Texas politicians. But yes, and that's facts, right? Texas is one of the states that's also adding Bitcoin to their pension and to the state reserve. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Elmo. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Leonard. Leonard said, I wouldn't follow Al Sharpton to go eat at Sizzler, let alone any type of psyop protest or boycotts, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, again, right? Even with the pensions, they're still largely not outpacing inflation, right? Like, they might be doing good, right? But that's simply a percentage number, right? Like, oh, you know, my pension is doing well. It's moving at a 6% APY. Inflation, you know what I'm saying, is like 9%, which means that, you know what I'm saying, like, if your investments aren't greater than 9%, you're losing 3% APY. But you know, there's assets that increased 64% APY, but those have already been ruled out because of the anti-Bitcoin sentiment that people have picked up from the Democrats that say that they're not Democrats. I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to say. But that's the reality of it, though. You know what I'm saying? So my thing with this is, the biggest problem here is that people still fail not only to produce, but also to see the dire necessity for means of production. I don't know if there's a means of production gap that's been traced, right? That, you know, we got the black-white wealth gap and all that, but I think you know, the black-white wealth gap, you know, I think it looks more intimidating than what people think that it is, because it's adjusted for inflation, right? Being adjusted for inflation doesn't take into consideration purchasing power increase or decrease. What needs to be paid most attention to, in my opinion, is liquid assets. Liquid assets is not necessarily, you know, just dollars. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Darlene. Darlene says, I work at Walmart as a backroom associate and I put up to 6% and they match it in my 401k. Now, that's good, right? That's good. But what I would do if I was you is I would take a look at your annual APY over the life of your 401k and see what the annual APY is. See how attractive it is. See how good it is. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Speaking of companies that are starting to buy up Bitcoin, I don't know if y'all heard GameStop. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said, also, the government is increasing retirement age incrementally, at least in the UK. I'm assuming it's the same in America. Yeah, they're trying to. That's what Nikki Haley wanted to do. She wanted to increase the retire. They're going to have the retirement age increase to 600 years old by the time it's time for us to get a retirement. You know what I'm saying? So again, Al Sharpton is encouraging you to be in consumerism. And Al Sharpton just gave a bunch of $25 gift cards told people to go shop at Costco, and Costco said, sure, we'll allow, like the definition of niceness and acceptance in 2025 is yes, you can go broke spending on us. I didn't even know that. Shout out to Leonard. Leonard said it's already 70 something. Like, see, that's crazy. It's just going to continue to increase, and what's going to end up happening is that you're just never going to be able to retire. Like, you're going to die before you're able to retire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if people understand. Like, people's purchasing power is going down. Like, do people realize that the dollar is depreciating? This is an illusion. There's no such thing as the cost of living. Like, that's a false statement. Living is free. And Apple doesn't do anything except for rot, right? A piece of wood doesn't do anything. The ability of a dollar to buy things is engineered to decrease over its lifespan, which means that while you're holding a dollar, if that dollar is not invested into something that is returning you money at a rate higher than inflation, you're standing there holding money, losing money while it sits in your hand. I don't know if people get that. Which means that every day in the future, if you're not making more money than inflation, the ability to be able to buy, own, and control means of production is decreasing. Just because your purchasing power decreases doesn't mean that anybody lowers the prices to help you. It also doesn't mean that you get a raise at your job. People don't get raises anymore. This is what happens when you're stuck as a consumer. This is what Al Sharpton is encouraging. Yeah, shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo says, yep, most folks' purchasing power and net worth has decreased if we don't hold assets returning above inflation yields. Facts. Shout out to AJ. AJ says, people don't understand economics. Free money costs. They're only looking at the bag. Yeah. Facts. Shout out to Leonard. Leonard says, technically, they're robbing us anyway because we all should have pensions and not 401ks. Yeah. You know me, right? I'm biased. I'm going to say everybody should buy Bitcoin, but I'm going to keep saying everybody should buy Bitcoin. And then when there's zero Bitcoin, when there's no Bitcoin, and the racial wealth gap explodes like a nuclear bomb, you already know who don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? You already know who don't want to hear it. Shout out to Deneen. Deneen said, "What's that orange thing?" What's that? I think everybody has like these. I think this might have something to do with a boycott or like supporting Costco's or something. Because you see that dude in the back, he got that cape on, that orange cape. I think it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said, you know that $2 trillion spending power talking point? None of those people who say that seem to understand that power is decreasing and it's no longer a flex. And if you have 2 trillion liquid dollars and no factors of production, how effective is that? Because the reason why people have material assets is because the people who understand things know that dollars only have an implied worth. There's a difference between an implied value and an actual value. You know what I'm saying? If you're thirsty, water has an actual value. Dollars have an implied value that works because we have a global financial system that agrees, complies, and transacts with that understanding. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I be at. Listen, again, I'm going to ask the same question. When have you seen a rich person boycott? When has anybody ever seen that? You never see it. You know what I'm saying? Why won't you see it? Because they already have the assets that people boycott for. We own these things. You know what I'm saying?
The equity and inclusion programs.
For 90 days, we're going to research the company that we find that has made the most affront. We will call a boycott. But today,
like, instead of teaching people financial empowerment, like this dude is teaching play nice with me, play nice with me. We gonna see who lets us spend our money, and we gonna take it all there and spend it. Like, I can't with this nonsense. I can't with this nonsense.
we are calling a buy-in.
Well, Costco says it remains committed to DEI. Many well-known companies are scaling back their programs.
Now, listen, shout out, and Hurricane brought up a great point. I want to bring this back up. Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said, you know that $2 trillion spending power talking point? Let's talk about that $2 trillion spending power talking point. What business have Black people ever destroyed by pulling $2 trillion out of their revenue? And then when the $2 trillion gets pulled out of the revenue, what kind of value creation is constructed with the liquid $2 trillion? So now here's the thing, right? Do people see a problem with that?
Including Target, Meta, Amazon, McDonald's, Walmart, Lowe's, and Ford. Now, today it was about buying and supporting companies that support DEI, but the national...
These companies are billion-dollar... Listen, buying and supporting these companies are billion-dollar companies. These companies are billion-dollar companies. Go look at what Costco's yearly income was for 2024. You know what I'm saying? Supporting these companies, the people that are spending their money there are living paycheck to paycheck. Like, we've done the videos and talked about this, where people are, they only have they make $100,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So again, why is it that like, there's disparities here, right? Like, I'm highlighting all of these disparities, right? This isn't what the Democrats advocate for. You know what I'm saying? They push in HR 40. Now, I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying?
Network says it will soon announce the names of companies that it plans to boycott. Arthur?
It'll soon announce the names of the companies that it'll boycott. We not buying nothing from you. Like, you can't make this up. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. I appreciate you being a like enforcer, bro. If y'all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. So, again, like, this is, if you ask me, like, this is a waste of time. Yeah. Shout out to Kirk. Kirk says that's literally what's about to happen. They'll go right back to Target, but without their Black brand. Yeah, and the Black brands that's at Target will probably end up getting flushed out. You know what I'm saying? Because they need every little bit of revenue that they can get, because they can't hold off as long as the bigger companies. See, these like I'm not. This is what I'm saying. Like, I want you guys like understand what I'm saying, man. Understand what I'm saying. The Democrats count on a lack of knowledge and understanding by people with this stupid stuff that they ask people to do. And then you got people like the defiant lawyers and all these different people, you know what I'm saying, like saying it's nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, if you just don't flat out support the Democrats, oh, you got to be, you know, a Trump supporter and all this. People got to start understanding money. Like, people got to stop saying, like, I don't know what, hey, look, hey, people can do what they want to. You know what I'm saying? It's a free world, free country, but, you know, hey, you know.
To take some heat following their decision to roll back on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The decision has some asking people to boycott the Minneapolis.
So again, like I keep asking this question: what have these alleged diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts done? Who are the people that should be boycotting? I mean, who should be boycotting? You know what I'm saying? Look, do y'all see this? Look, we're gonna support Costco. You live in paycheck to paycheck, and you about to go support a company that made $62.15 billion last year. I guess we need to support them. They don't need our support. They could survive a boycott too. You know what I'm saying?
Minneapolis-based retailer. Our Jason Ranzela joins us now live from Target headquarters with more. Jason.
Hi, Shayla. Well, this event started just about an hour ago. It's hosted by Black Lives Matter Minnesota activists.
Did you hear that? I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. See, and we talked about this on Undocumented. Shout out to Leonard. Leonard said, and I think I might actually have a video up here that actually goes over that. Leonard said, "Oh hell no, I just peeped game on the Target protest. They ain't slick. How come the Latinos doing the same thing on the 28th?" This is what I'm saying, y'all. This is what I'm saying.
Target headquarters with more. Jason.
Hi, Shayla. Well, this event started just about an hour ago. It's hosted by Black Lives Matter Minnesota. Activists say they believe Target made this decision to roll back DEI initiatives due to pressure from the Trump White House. Now, let's go back to last week where Target announced that they're rolling back these DEI initiatives. That includes ending promotion of Black-owned businesses following the murder of George Floyd and ending goals including hiring and promotion of more women and racial minority groups.
I'm gonna let y'all listen to this again. This is what I mean. How do you get people to get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get people to get it? You know what I mean?
No Black-owned businesses following the murder of George Floyd and ending goals including hiring and promotion of more women and racial minority groups. Target actually stepped up DEI efforts after George Floyd's murder, which activists say made the company's decision that much more shocking.
And many of us were stunned that Target, one of the companies that stepped forward in the aftermath of the Minneapolis police killing of George Floyd and helped to just make the decision that they were going to invest more in diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Listen, man, can I ask this question that don't nobody want to ask? Shout out to Retro Gemini. What's good with it? What do the George Floyd situation like what? Why are we putting all this stuff together? Shout out to DC Precise. DC Precise says I'm not putting my fingers in my ears. He doing a Pee Wee Herman. Connect the dots. La 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 la. I don't know what to say, man. Listen, man. Hey. This is what I'm saying, man. Listen, what people got to understand, all of the, like, these people need to be demicrophoned. Right. Shout out to Kirk. Kirk says they are literally sad that a company doesn't have human feelings. Facts. When a corporation is a literal artificial person. It's a literal artificial person. Like, it's literally an artificial person. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not trying to be, I know this is gonna sound bad. But Target didn't take George Floyd out. You know what I'm saying? Derek Chauvin did. You know what I'm saying? Derek Chauvin took George Floyd out. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. As long as people like this individual are able to just get in front of a mic and blurt out nonsense to a wide audience, I've been saying this for years.
Now, speakers here have two demands. One of those is for employees to speak up and also for people to just shop elsewhere. Now, Jaylani Hussein with CARE Minnesota said that he's predicting that by the end of February, Target will have reversed course. Of course, February is Black History Month, Shayla.
All right, we'll have to see how the company responds. Our Jason Rantola reporting. Thank you so much, Jason.
I mean, you know, then here we go with the Black History thing. Now, shout out to Leonard, because this is what Leonard was talking about. Leonard was talking about the quote unquote Latino freeze is what it's called, right? How many people have heard of the Latino freeze? If you guys heard about the Latino freeze, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't, then give me a thumbs down. So again, I don't know what anybody's official stance is on the DEI stuff, right? I don't know what anybody's official stance is, right? But my official stance, as it always has been, is to create your own businesses and vertically integrate. I want you guys to pay close attention. Understand that is never the option. That is never the thing that anybody ever says to do. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, there's a cycle of, well, we have to boycott because we're not. Listen, if you don't own anything and you have to go to other people for what you need, you have to understand that you're subject to be treated however they feel fit. And that's just it. That's just it. It's the same way if you don't know how to do something, you're subject to, I'll get to it when I get to it. These people are literally demanding to be allowed to spend their little pennies. Like, this is just wild.
Growing backlash tonight against national retailers that have started eliminating or rolling back their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
And again, so who's losing? Who's getting fired? Who's losing their jobs? Who's going broke? Who's being affected by all of this? So we should be outraged, right, by this, right? But who's suffered as a result of this is the question. Most people were saying that this was ineffective anyway, as far as, you know, any type of issues involving us, which it should be expected that it would be ineffective because it's not anything that we created to address our own issues. I don't know why people would even take this serious. You know what I'm saying?
Latino leaders are calling for a boycott of those big stores. The movement is...
So I want you guys to understand that this is coordinated with Al Sharpton, right? You guys can see it's coordinated.
Growing backlash tonight against national retailers that have started eliminating or rolling back their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Latino leaders are calling for a boycott of those big stores. The movement is known as the Latino Freeze, and activists like civil rights leader Dolores Huerta are leading the charge. NBC Bay Area's Damian Trujillo is in San Jose with the story.
Target is one of those being targeted for the nationwide boycott. This after the national chain joined others in eliminating its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. The idea of a Latino freeze is growing. The idea is for Latinos to stop shopping at big stores and restaurants like Target, Walmart, and McDonald's.
So I want people to understand, like, y'all see this, man? Like, this, like, so, you know, oh, you know, you need to do this because of Black History Month. I mean, okay. What about what? It's not Latino History Month. This is what I'm saying, man. I want you guys to understand. Do y'all see how they're using the MK Ultra? Do y'all see how they are activating the monolith? Do y'all see how they got the 1-to-1 ratio? Tap the race simping, get everybody outraged, work that outrage economy, and they'll all fall in line. Predictability down to zero. We have complete 100% control, and we'll form a coalition even if they don't know that there's a coalition, because we got these people doing this over here. And as you know, because everybody concentrates a lot on the history, and like most of the concentration on the history is concentration on trauma instead of concentration on accomplishment. As soon as people hear, you know, boycott, people think of Martin Luther King and be like, yeah, I'm down with this. I'm down with this. Like, nah, man. I'm indifferent on it. Like, I don't care about none of this. I don't care about this. I don't care about none of this. And I don't understand. And again, regardless of whether I care about it or not, there's all these different inconsistencies. We still got the inconsistency of the integration talking point. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things to deal with here. You know what I'm saying?
Places that recently rolled back their DEI programs. The move followed similar action by the White House and federal government.
If you don't respect our community, then you...
Bro, and I think I think we actually already looked at this video, because I remember this lady face all up in the camera. I've been saying this forever. Shout out to Kirk. Kirk says it's 2025 and they got people out here moving like it's still 1960. Yeah. People still, I've been saying that forever, bro. You know what I'm saying? And people don't get it. They don't get it. People still think a savings account is hiding money in a mattress. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And the thing is that the people who should be moving people into the future, they're not. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is outdated. You know what I'm saying? Just because I say certain things that don't mean that I'm saying WS doesn't exist. That don't mean that I'm saying that racism doesn't exist. What I'm saying is that it's 2025. You know what I'm saying? Like, the future has become the present and people are still in the past. I mean, people are still anti-technology. You know what I'm saying? They're still anti-technology. People don't know what's going on in the business world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to start a lot of these type of, like, most people aren't even equipped to start these kind of businesses because people have been ignoring the technology trends, living under the guidance of myths. I'm not going to deal with AI because it's evil. Bitcoin is the mark of the beast. It's 2025. You know what I'm saying? People still rubbing two sticks together. I don't know what to, I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing that I'm never going to say. I'm never going to gaslight. I'm never going to tell people what they want to hear just because they want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are just now getting on the STEM bandwagon. Oh, we need to get to STEM. It's I mean, you know, that's great. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? It's too late. Got to find something else. And there's other stuff out there, right? Like, there's other stuff out there. But I mean, you can't get people to get into stuff. Right. I would listen, bro. Look, shout out to Leonard, right? Leonard said it's not Bitcoin. Pretty sure it's Starlink and Neuralink, but I digress. I mean, listen, you know, I don't believe in none of that stuff. However, I would absolutely agree with you that it is more ominous to put a computer chip in your head, you know what I'm saying, than using digital money. I would agree 110% with, I can meet you halfway on that one. You know what I'm saying? Facts. But and I'm not even good. It's the Al Sharptons, the church community. Al Sharpton will sit there and tell you what God do or don't want as he marries two men or two women together. I pronounce you man and man. I pronounce you woman and woman. That's a disgrace to God. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, we asked this question on the other channel, and we're going to ask this question here, right? Let's say, for instance, you've been, quote unquote, straight, or as some people say, quote unquote, cis, right? Now, if you come back home with a same-sex partner, how your family going to take that? Your family will be outraged that you come home with a same-sex partner, but they also outraged if you don't vote for the party that supports the same-sex partnering. Make it make sense. Shout out to my man Bronze. Bronze said, "What? Rob not talking about crypto in 2025? No, we gonna do crypto tonight. We're gonna do crypto tonight. You know what I'm saying? So when are people going to address these inconsistencies? You know what I'm saying? Inconsistencies slow the advancement of a society. You know what I'm saying? Now look at this simp right here. Atlanta pastor Jamal Bryant leads boycott of Target over DEI rollback. Do you guys realize all these is pastors? Tens of thousands pledged support. That's nice. The target is Target. As Target faces a growing backlash for its decision to roll back diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, all this is rolling. Listen, man, let me explain what this is, man. There's these programs that the government gives businesses money for to have. If the businesses can show that they have these programs, then they get money from the government. Trump has said the government's not going to pay these businesses to have these programs anymore. So companies can either continue to fund the programs themselves, right? Or they can get rid of the programs. So some companies are getting rid of the programs. We got the boycott. Like, really? Again, what has been the net effect of those programs since their, since their inception? Shout out to Verna. What's good with it, Verna? What's been the effect of? Have they helped anything? No one can say what these things have helped. Why is this simp, Jamal Bryant, the sacrilegious reverend, telling his flock of sheep to boycott Target? Why is it always these ministers, these reverends, Reverend Al Slickback? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's why? It's a call to boycott the retail behemoth. A call to boycott the retail behemoth has started to find footing among Atlanta's Black faith community. Faith in what? Faith in what? It would be nice if they actually have faith in themselves. You know what I'm saying? The movement spearheaded by New Birth missionary, and I'm sure he calls it New Birth, you know what I'm saying? Probably because of, baby mamas and stuff like that, right? Missionary Baptist Church Pastor Jamal Bryant has rallied tens of thousands in a shared commitment to a 40-day absenteeism from Target stores, a spiritual fast, 40 days and 40 nights. You know what I'm saying? A spiritual fast. You know what I'm saying? I shall take items off the shelf 2 by 2 and put them in my ark that's in the parking lot outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like, this is nonsense. I shall take items off the cart 2 by 2 and put them in my cart and take it outside to my cart. And I shall sail the waters of commerce for 40 days and 40 nights. Man, if you don't shut your ass up. You can't make this up, man. Listen, y'all know I'm not religious, man. And I joke around and I play around, but I know a lot of y'all are, and I respect it, man. So I don't fly off the handle with it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, to people who actually believe in religion, you know what I'm saying? Like, people who actually follow, a religion, a practice. This ain't no different than the scribes and the Pharisees. This is no different than the scribes and the Pharisees. My major problem with religion is not the practice of religion. It's the human inconsistency and the manipulation that people use religion for. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go on a fast. You know what I'm saying? A 40-day, and it's spiritual. I don't know how it's spiritual. Set to begin on March 5th, but already gathering significant support, with over 50,000 individuals pledging to participate, according to a report by Magic ATL. All right. The impetus for this boycott can be traced back to the retail giant's commitment to DEI efforts following the death of George Floyd. I mean, again, I got to question both parties on this, right? I got to question people that said, you need to do DEI because George Floyd got killed. I mean, okay. And then them actually thinking like, well, George Floyd is the reason why we need to do this. Like, I don't understand none of this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, damn, when Rob references the Bible, then you know that he's addressing some major BS. Bro, I got to, man. Because listen, this is the kind of stuff that creates people like me. This stuff here. When it comes to people having issues with religion, this stuff here creates people like me. I don't know as much about religion and the Bible as I do out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Right? I don't know that stuff out of nowhere, right? You know what I mean? And so, you know, my thing is the respect. Like, listen, there's people that actually, like, there's good people that are religious that actually believe in it. Like, they actually believe in it. And, like, you know, they deserve to, if they follow the faith, you know what I'm saying, and they live their life by it, they deserve to be able to practice it. They deserve to practice it. You know what I'm saying? That's putting a negative light on those people. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't see a pastor or a reverend and see how they manipulating people using a religion, and that's putting a bad light on other people that practice those religions. Other people practice. There's many people that practice religion to improve their life. Some people practice religion to help them, you know, deal with difficult situations or whatever. This is nonsense right here. This ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't none of that. You know what I mean? These reverends, people like Al Sharpton, sitting up there talking about he a reverend. Listen, they always talk about Judgment Day. I guarantee you, Al Sharpton wouldn't go in front of his God and say anything that he's ever said or done on MSNBC. Kirk said, "Can I get an amen?" See, look at this. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, "Now it makes sense why Nancy Pelosi said, 'Thank you, George Floyd, for your sacrifice.' She knew the Democrats would milk his death for political gain and lift manipulation." Facts. Facts. And then you got this simps like this dude right here. 40-day fast. Like, seriously? They supposed to have another economic blackout on Target on February 28th. What if Target just decided to say, we're going to have an economic blackout on who we sell anything to? Which one would work better? You know what I'm saying? A movement that seems to have reversed course simultaneously with the federal rollback. See, the federal rollback of DEI programs by the Trump administration. Now, look, so see, and on top of it, they keep tying Black History Month into it. And this is what I'm talking about. Tie in Black History Month. Mention anything that affected Black people negative. You got the MK Ultra. You got the monolith popping. You got the outrage economy going. Now we about to get this money off this outrage economy. Like, come on, man. Black History Month. Black History Month's first Sunday, putting forth a powerful call to his congregation and the broader community to reflect their displeasure with the retailers' policies and changes going through their consumer decisions. Man, none of these people even knew anything about it. Like, they were never touched by any of these DEI programs. No one was ever touched by any of these DEI programs. You know what I'm saying? Bryant, who wasn't alive during the civil rights movement, recognizes the significant role played by Black churches throughout the period. What was the role? What role did what? Black church, huh? Listen, man, people gonna get mad at me, man. They're gonna get mad at me. But we got to do it, though. We got, like I said, we got to do it. We got to run it down the line. How do you call these Black churches and they teach slave religion? Like, they teach European religion, but these are called Black churches. This is a Black church. You know, in Haiti, you know, some people still practice voodoo, right? But voodoo is the national religion in Haiti. Bryant, who wasn't alive during the civil rights movement, recognizes the significant role played by quote unquote black churches. Black churches preach slave religion, right? So is it, when they say black church, what's the extent? What do they mean? Black churches. What's that mean? We talking about like the people that show up there, or are we talking about the coursework? Like what do they mean? See, because we have to do that because it says significant role. Like what significant role? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, whoa. Christianity was in Ethiopia first. True. And slavery wasn't abolished there until 1942. I wouldn't disagree. However, what I would say is that these churches, right, are mainly Baptist, right? And Baptist was imported to and forced onto whom? By whom? Right? That would be my quote. Now, I wouldn't disagree or deny anything that you said. However, how about what I said? Right? So now, here's this. Historically, the black church has always been the centerpiece of the civil rights movement. Is that true? He told Fox 5, the pastor articulated a vision where the economic power of black consumers. So right there, you've already been placed into a constraint. That's the constraint. Not black entrepreneurs, not black affluent, not black rich people, not black investors, black consumers. Shout out to James Hudson. What's good with it, bro? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't smashed that like button, do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and share the stream to your social media. Facts. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Facts, bro. But this is what I'm saying, man. Shout out to Bronze. This is what I'm saying. Bronze says, same way people with the lowest collective net worth going to boycott $1 billion company. How long is it going? They playing chicken with a freight train. With magnetic shoes on, ice skating uphill. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ice skating uphill.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Shout out to AB. Yeah, the church is bought and paid for. Facts. By the Democrats and 501c3 tax-free. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're always old buildings downtown, in the middle of town, downtown. We got a whole bunch of them downtown. They're big, you know what I'm saying? Ebenezer Baptist and all that, you know what I'm saying? Zion Baptist, you know what I'm saying? Nebuchadnezzar Baptist, you know what I'm saying? Big giant brick building, a bell that you can hear across town, you know what I'm saying? Paint coming all off the wall. Old school radiators all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. The pastor has articulated a vision where the economic power of black consumers is redirected away from companies like Target that, in his view, do not adequately respect or represent their interests, especially in light of recent policy shifts. Listen, it's nothing personal, man. It's business. It's nothing personal. It's business. People got to get away from this warm and fuzzy stuff. Shout out to Anubis. Anubis said a white European brought Christianity to Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? And Al Sharpton brought a big vat of Murray's, you know what I'm saying? And used a butter knife and put it all in his head. You know what I'm saying? He used a whole entire can of Murray's every time he wake up and take his stocking cap off. You know what I'm saying? And he one of them people that wear a stocking cap on top of a do-rag. You know what I'm saying? Shit don't make no damn sense. To make no sense. You know what I'm saying? When he get in the shower, you know what I'm saying, the water probably got a rainbow on it. The same way if you got an oil leak in your car, it got the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a damn, like a oil vat, like a oil tank just cracked in the damn bathtub at the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. That don't make any damn sense. That's why they call him a slickster, for real. Literally, because he rocks an oil slick on his head, and because he old slick talking preacher man. You know what I'm saying? Slick talking ass preacher man. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. If they start losing 29 million a day for 40 days, we will break the back of the system. Keep dreaming. You got to do more than that. But, hey, I would never get my financial advice from a priest. You know what I'm saying? The best financial advice that a priest going to give you is place your money here. You know what I'm saying? In this metal dog bowl with carpet on it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that's what they do. They got them dog bowls with carpet that they pass around the congregation and have people put their last little money in. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Spider. I appreciate you, Black Spider. Make sure y'all show Black Spider some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Black Spider. Black Spider just looks. we about to burn some offerings. You know what I'm saying? Black Spider dropped the $10. We about to put some burnt offerings, some burnt cats and dogs up. You know what I'm saying? For the offering, we're gonna flame it up like they did in the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put these ministers to shame. We're gonna do the Old Testament style sacrifice. Get a Kingsford grill, you know what I'm saying, and put some charcoals on the grill, and we're gonna flame them cats and dogs up, you know what I'm saying, and take them away like Elijah. You know what I'm saying? See what these see what these priests got on that. You know?
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching dimes.
They said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there. It's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing in the where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines. I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And the cat got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat cat.
Drop that cat.
Oh man, that's hilarious, man. Shout out to Black Spider. I appreciate you, Black Spider. Man, that is hilarious, man. Y'all got me dying laughing, man. So anyway, man, they talk about these boycott calls, and Target has experienced a dip in stock prices with a reported $11 decrease. I don't know what the stock price of Target is, but I hope y'all bought the dip. That's what I had said that I was going to do. I forgot all about that. When we had first talked about this, I said, if the stock price goes down, I'm finna buy the dip. They're going to really be mad about that. You know what I'm saying? A point not lost on Bryant, who asserts Black people on average spend $12 million a day in Target. So with that large of a consumption pie, we need to be treated with a great decibel of respect. Why do these idiots add extra words in? You know what I'm saying? Listen. Let's deal with this. Let's deal with this. Target rolled back DEI policies. Does that equate to black people being disrespected at Target? That's my question for you guys. Is that what's happening? Has anybody gone to Target recently? Do you feel disrespected? Do you feel like we could do this like the, you know, you could call Black Light, and Black Light Esquire if you feel disrespected or, you know, mistreated, or you feel that you've been wronged by Target. Please just dial 1-800 Blacklight. You know what I'm saying? For your class action lawsuit, and call hurry up before Ben Crump get a hold of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to Detroit 313. They are straight up idiots. Facts. Straight up. Like a sky, like straight up like the Sears Tower, straight up idiots. Like all the way into the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like Red Man and Method Man. Up to the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know what I'm saying? Look up. It's a bird. It's a plane. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's these cats boycotting Target, acting lame. How high? High enough to kiss the sky. Up to the sky. Right? They straight up to the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Oh, man, this is terrible, man. Shout out to Verna. Verna said, no disrespect, I was treated like royalty at Target yesterday. Peace. Hey, there you go. You know what I'm saying? There you go. They treated Verna like royalty yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And if the stock price go down again, like I said, I'm buying the dip. I don't care what they talking about here. They said for us to economically empower us, right? They said that they had a vision about people with economic goals. So that's my economic goal. I'm about to scoop up some Target on the dip. You know what I'm saying? He stated, underscoring his point with economic figures corresponding with the consumer stake of the black community. I'm saying, let's dramify it. Brian has intimated that this boycott could be the opening act, with Target serving as the precedent for potential for subsequent action against other retailers. Now, you know, if there needs to be action against retailers, I'm all about that. There needs to be action against retailers. I'm also not with crying wolf, though. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, parents know about, or, you know, everybody that's a parent know about telling their kids not to cry wolf. This is crying wolf, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? This is crying wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's affected by this? A lot of these people just trying to take this and they're trying to make a name for themselves. I got a good name for them. They want to make a name for themselves. Here go one. They're stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's a good that's a good name for them. You know what I'm saying? I got another name for them. You want to make a name for yourself? Here go a name for you. I got one for you. Hurricane IQ will like this.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Yeah, that's we got that. That's the new name for you. You know what I'm saying? You are really dumb, for real. That's the name. Don't wear it out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is what they're talking about right here. February 28th. Will the nationwide economic blackout on February 28th work? What is it? What's it supposed to do? I mean, are we going to put Target out of business? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we already talked about this. Just showing another little headline here. Somebody named Nikema Levy Armstrong. She's a Minneapolis-based civil rights lawyer and founder of Racial Justice Network. She told Newsweek that the spending freeze will work if enough individuals join in and speak up. It'll work to do what exactly? It's not going to put Target out of business. Economic activism. Look at this. Analysts suggest that while a brief pause in consumer spending may not significantly affect corporate revenue, so then why do it? This is what I said. So you see right in the article, it says the same thing that I said, right? I do need to get the gingerbread man drop. Shout out to AB Promotions. I do need to get the gingerbread man drop. The only thing you're ever gonna be king of is king of the stupids. Lord Farquhar was like, gingerbread man, shut the fuck up. You're going in the oven. Shut your gingerbread ass up. You're going in the oven. You know what I'm saying? Gingerbread, fuck you, motherfucker. And then look, the whole crew was off. You know what I'm saying? Because Puss in Boots was over there with Trump in the Eat the Cats video. You know what I'm saying? Puss in Boots and Selma Hayek was over there. Puss in Boots, Humpty Dumpty, and Selma Hayek was over there with Trump in the Eat the Cats video. You know what I'm saying? Antonio Banderas was in Springfield, Ohio, like, back up. I dare you. Because if you try to eat me, you will face my sword. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, look, we gotta make an animation of that video, man. We gotta have Pepe Le Pew kick in the door and put the skunk odor on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And try to holler at all the cats. You know, Pepe Le Pew just didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as that grab him by the pee stuff. Look, Trump ain't the one that came up with grab him by the pee. Pepe Le Pew was the first one that did that. He was all about it. You know what I'm saying? Pepe Le Pew wasn't taking no for an answer. But you know what I'm saying? The cats fighting for their life trying to get away from Pepe Le Pew. You know what I'm saying? Pepe Le Pew just letting the skunk odor out, trying to get on desperately. Yes, I know you're in love. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's hilarious, man. Shout out to Leonard. Leonard said someone probably got put on by the Illuminati by drinking cat's blood. Yo, yeah, man. Remember, she was in Dusk Till Dawn. Sometimes people be playing parts a little bit too well. She played that vampire a little bit too. That's like Denzel Washington. He played Training Day a little bit too well. That was like LL Cool J. He did that in too deep, a little bit too good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, was you really acting? You know what I'm saying? Was you really acting? Hey, look though, shout out to AB Promotions. Hey, do you remember when Gingerbread Man got his revenge? Where did the big Gingerbread Man come from? Just like out of the clear blue sky, like you had me tied up on that oven tray, but what you gonna do with homeboy? And then like the giant Gingerbread Man came out of nowhere. Like, who was that? And where did he come from? Like, he wasn't in the movie at all. Like, he just randomly appeared. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, look right here, right? Analysts suggest that while a brief pause in consumer spending may not significantly affect corporate revenue, it could generate discussion, right? So we should call this TB, right? Target Boycott 40, right? Because it's going to generate a discussion and increase awareness of economic activism. I mean, I don't know. They about to target Amazon. When is this supposed to happen? Look, shout out to the people that invest. The Amazon stock price going to go down between March 7th and March 14th. Let's buy some. The effectiveness of the economic blackout will be evaluated after February 28th with a potential follow-up action that include. Listen, hey, look, wait a minute though. Hold on, wait, whoa. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Wait a minute. You know what? I literally just suddenly had an idea. And actually, I hope all of these boycotts are extremely effective. Because listen, man, if they start boycotting all these different places and all these places that get associated with these boycotts, the stock price start going down, we could catch all these Fortune 5 companies and Magnificent 7 companies on the dip. I'm about to start acting outraged about DEI and say I'm about to start a boycott for some of these companies and then buy the stock up. What y'all think? I changed course on this. This is a great idea. What you guys think? Look, hey, hey, look. Shout out to AB Promotions. I'm outraged about micro strategies. They need to get DEI in there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to boycott micro strategies if they don't hurry up and get some DEI. Now let's hope that the price go down so we can buy a couple shares. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that we act fake outraged about micro strategies on a week that they decide not to buy no Bitcoin. Because then that'll hit them for real. They'll go down, you know what I'm saying? It'll go down even more than it usually do when they decide not to buy no Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So we got to wait till the article come out where it say MicroStrategies decided to not buy Bitcoin this week. Oh, I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? They need to hire more black people. Let's boycott them. And then the stock price go down, you know what I'm saying, about 25% on top of what it already went down for not buying Bitcoin that week. And then we scoop it up. Right. I'm look. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said they need to diversify some XRP. Bro, I'm about to post a fake text message of Brad Garlinghouse calling me the N-word. Now, you know what I'm saying? Let's get that Ripple price back down to $1.25 so we can scoop. like you can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Darlene. Darlene said, I have a friend who works at Target. How's she like it? I mean, to be honest, any job gonna be a job, right? But I would ask her, what has she noticed at the company since all of this? How are things going? Listen, I'm not gonna lie. On the outside, right? People probably like, oh, it's bad. Listen, I guarantee you, inside at Target, they're walking on pins and needles, and they're treating everybody, especially like the minorities, black people, you know what I'm saying? Whoever would fit under the DEI umbrella, they're treating them very good because they really don't want to get hit with no lawsuit. Even though they wouldn't get hit with no lawsuit anyway. Companies be going in overdrive when they think they're about to get in trouble or had to pay some money. All kind of extra people be there that you ain't never seen before. Somebody offer to help you do something and you've literally never had any help ever in your entire career working there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bronze the Guy. Yeah, they trying to do the black version of go woke, go broke. Right. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said that'll work, but I was talking about MicroStrategies diversifying their cryptocurrency holdings. Oh, well, shit. Let's both shit. You know what I'm saying? We can do both and make it affect the stock price negatively. We could put out a bunch of massive troll tweeting about them diversifying, even though we secretly don't care and buy the stock up anyway. And then say, speaking of diversity, what's going on with your black upper management? Oh, stock price decreased 15%. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that shit just went down 15%. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Leonard. Leonard said the Becky quality in my local Target has downgraded significantly. We need to get some more DEI in there so we can double the flatbacks. Do you know what? That's interesting. That's interesting because, them liberals be kind of weird shaped. You know what I'm saying? So I would assume, right, that like the conservative ones that kind of care more about their appearance would hopefully come and fill them positions. But it looked like you still got them ones that look like Gargamel there. Y'all got to get some diversity there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get some diversity there. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, so that's it, man. That's all we got. That's all we got. Like I said, I'm gonna try to work on getting the the channel back organized. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with this privacy lock thing, but I'm gonna try to see what I can do. The membership video should still be viewable for members, at least according to the like the icons. It shows the membership icon on there. But the other videos, for whatever reason, like I don't know what's going on with them. Like they locked. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to figure out what YouTube did there. You know what I'm saying? And look, shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said, "Oh man, we done. Don't listen. We finished and we done. We finished and we done." You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to shout out everybody, man, because I appreciate y'all, and y'all already know without y'all, it ain't no streams. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Darlene. Definitely appreciate you, Darlene. Shout out to my man Wallow J. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man AB Promotions, aka Fomosaki Nakamura. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man PJ Allen. Shout out to Mod Extraordinaire Brooklyn Queen. Shout out to Mod Extraordinaire Hurricane IQ. Shout out to my man Detroit 313. Shout out to Black Spider. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Gotta hit Brooklyn Queen with the again. Hold on real quick. What we got going on here? Okay, yeah. Again! Shout out to Mama Zeke. Appreciate you, Mama Zeke. Shout out to my man Jay the Informant. Appreciate you, Jay. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Shout out to my man Jay. Gotta hit him with the again. Again! Shout out to DBB. Shout out to Alonda. Shout out to Mike J. Shout out to my man Hurricane IQ. And shout out to Black Spider again. Again! And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up, look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour, got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on my knee, that's on Kiwi, that's on mamas. Niggas don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that fake. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey.